We're live. This is the Comic Hall and Round Table Discussion, and I am your host, Matt. We've got Chris, we've got Stay Puff, X is in the building, and Brother Al and Larry will be joining us as he normally does on Black Ursha time. So, everybody, how's everybody doing today?
I'm good, man.
I'm doing good. I'm tired. Had my
Uh,
daughter's birthday party today.
oh man, you got a Virgo
Happy
on your hand.
birthday.
Yeah.
She turned 9. Lord.
Oh man. Tell you what, yeah, man. I think me and Sean and Al are definitely tired because we stayed up to about 2 last night listening to music and talking hip hop last night on Sean's station.
Oh, y'all was
So
that good groove.
good
Oh
groove,
yeah,
man. We
man.
were really into it, man.
Oh, and
Uh,
it got even wild when we got into the R&B, bro. Like,
oh yeah,
Ooh.
y'all got
that's
me
what set us
contemplating bringing back Old School Sunday for tomorrow on Instagram, man. I'm
up.
like,
Hey, do it. That's all I
Hey
gotta say.
man,
Do it.
Do it.
yeah.
Do
So
it.
this week we had quite a few things happen this week, and we'll kind of touch on a little bit of everything. And tonight we will be talking about the main topic. Tonight will be collecting and why it requires patience, and sometimes you got to wait it out. We will do that a little later on. We're gonna kind of try to wait for Larry to get on to have that discussion. But first, we're gonna go ahead and jump right into things this week. PlayStation 5. Uh, the
I'm
PlayStation
digging out my
5.
list. Sorry, I gotta.
Yeah, the PlayStation 5 dropped. Pre-orders dropped this week. I think what Xbox. When was Xbox? Xavier last week.
It ain't
they,
came.
Pre-orders.
They
they hadn't
still ain't
started yet.
announced it.
They hadn't started.
Not for pre-orders yet.
Mm-mm.
Are you serious?
The release date is the November 10th, but they haven't done pre-orders yet.
Wow,
Yeah.
unbelievable.
The
So theirs
pre-orders
come
are
out 2 days before the 5, but
PlayStation
no
5.
pre-order yet.
Oh wow!
I
I
mean,
actually thought the pre-orders were already. I thought they were like
Mm-mm.
rolling for both of
I
them.
mean,
Wow.
when you
Nope.
see how the PlayStation pre-orders went, I don't blame her. I'd wait too. Like,
Yeah, I mean
Dude,
they kind of from a marketing standpoint, that was pretty smart to wait it out.
mhm.
uh, you talking about on Xbox's behalf
Yeah,
or Sony?
on Xbox.
Xbox,
Okay.
they
Because
they
let me
forced
tell you,
Sony's hand.
let me tell you something. I work for a company that sells these consoles, and I had no idea that it was going to pre-order like the time that the pre-order was going to start, and I sell these every time they come out. Like we had zero notifications at my job. So Sony in my hands, even though I'm still get one, they dropped the ball on this.
mm.
I don't like that.
From
You
what
know
I've
what?
seen,
Go ahead,
yeah,
Chris. I'm sorry.
that it's kind of the same thing that happened with the PS4. They they did the announcement for when the systems were coming out, and it was like, hey, you're gonna be able to pre-order them. Then the pre-orders were supposed to drop the next day, and
Yep.
some retailers like Walmart, Target, and so on dropped it as soon as they announced it,
Yep.
that
and
that
that's what
needs to
messed up
stop, though.
everybody.
Yeah, that
Hmm
needs to stop. If they say it's going to be pre-order available for the next day, it's supposed to be the next day, not immediately from these retailers. That's why people were crashing all the websites because they hitting these
Man,
retail stores up and Target getting crashed, Walmart, Best
Be-
Buy.
Best
It's
Buy's
crazy.
crashed. I had
Yeah,
to I had to literally
Are you
reboot my
serious?
cell phone. That's how
Kmart.
bad it crashed.
Kmart.
Kmart.
Service the merchandise.
Ooh,
Sears and
Sears.
Roebucks. Sears and Roebucks was
Oh
messing
my
up.
god.
All
Yeah,
of them crash.
I mean, but you
Oh,
know what? This is ridiculous, man. This is like we don't. They've been doing this for 20 years now. I mean, if this is ridiculous that we're having this kind of trouble with pre-order. This is just pre-orders. This is another reason. One of the reasons why I decided I sit this out too is because I already know it's going to be a complete mess when the system actually comes out.
oh yeah.
You know, you know. I think it's absolutely insanity that I'm hearing people, they're going to GameStop and folks have got there and then they talking about pre-orders messed up. They got to come back later on in the afternoon. I mean, that's
So
crazy.
they got a sign up list at GameStop now. You have to write your name and your phone number on one clipboard is for physical copy. I mean physical disc, and then on
For the
another
digital.
clipboard is for digital. Yeah.
You know what
Try.
they're doing that is there's rumors floating around that Sony it doesn't actually have enough for the pre-order projection isn't what their production hit. So they don't actually have enough consoles for all the people who have done all these pre-orders already. So even when the system finally does drop on November 12th, there's a potential that even if you got in line and you got your pre-order in and you've paid for it, you're still going to have to wait for a system. You've paid $500 and now you can't get it.
You know what I honestly think it is? I think Sony's made enough. They just ain't been able to come across through custom.
That is potentially
That
true.
You know
is
what I'm
true.
saying?
That's true too.
I think this stuff is. I think they mass produce them, but they only letting so many in at a time. You know what I'm saying? And I think that was still piss poor marketing on them
Nah.
to even do this during the middle of a pandemic. You know what I mean? If you know your stuff not coming over, first of all, this goes for Sony and Microsoft. If your and Nintendo, if your consoles are not coming in like they used to, your previous console, what makes you think that it's gonna run smooth for your next gen consoles that are about to release in less than 2 months? It's dumb.
Yep.
This is something that you brought Nintendo. This is Nintendo is the master of this kind of stuff. Where they'll drop a system and then it's limited supply. But when you see like this whole PlayStation fiasco, I don't think I've ever seen anything like this before, man. Just complete botch up from the ground up, And we all been gaming. All of us on this panel have been gaming for years. And I look, I hold my hands up and tell everybody, I spent the night outside of GameStop with my friend Adrian, bowl of peanuts, and we sat outside and waited for that PlayStation 3. I was one of the few people that bought one. Did you even buy a PlayStation 3 when it came out?
I got mine day one from GameStop across from Best Buy.
Yeah, I got mine, and that fiasco was nothing like this.
I went ahead and paid mine in full just so I can walk in there, get it, and get on out and go back to work.
Pre-orders with no problem. This is back when it was less technology.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is less technology. Then all of us PlayStation 2 folk, y'all know, you go pick it up, pre-order, put your back in the day, 25, 50, and then you pay the rest of it off when it come out and you out the door. Now we're in an era where there's more technology, more than we've ever seen before, and you've got people saying they can't pre-order a system.
We live in the world of bots now. You know what I'm saying? All it take, if you got a bot on your phone, your computer, whatever device it may be, as soon as it drops, the bots are automatically gonna eat them up. You know what I'm saying? And hell, the way these cats are, apparently they got the bread to pay $500 multiple times just to try to flip it because they know that people not gonna have it in time for the holiday season.
That's why you got these astronomical prices on PS5 on eBay for pre-orders, man.
Right.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Already, yeah.
God, wow.
Oh, as soon as a pre-order for anything drops, people are already on eBay selling it before they even get their hands on it. I'm talking about that goes all the way down to stuff as small as Hot Wheels or Legos. If it's a pre-order for anything that has potential to be hot, it's already up on eBay before the people get their hands on it.
Yeah.
For quadruple the price.
Trying to make their money.
Well, with this PlayStation 5, and me and X talked about this day on our weekend road trip. And so we, my thing, man, is personally, I'm still playing my PlayStation 4. There's a quality game still on that PlayStation 4. I hadn't even begun to finish Ghost of Tsushima, which is that game is so long, to the point that.
What about this whole thing about some of these PS5 games being multi-platform PS4 as well?
They are.
And people are upset about that. It's like, what's really the rush to get a PS5 if some of these games going to be on PS4?
So here's what I think. Like, if you go back to when Sony did their presentation, their press conference, it was all smoke and mirrors. They were like, we got a new system. It's going to be hot. Oh, by the way, here's Miles Morales. And then they showed you nothing else. And then they did their second presentation, and they're like, oh, we now have a release date. But it was still smoke and mirrors, because here's now all these games that are supposedly PS5, but you'll also be able to get them on your PS4, so they're not really PS5 exclusives. And so it's all just it's a one hand washing the other hand But it's like, so you're backwards. The PS5 will be backwards compatible to the PS4. But why do I need to get a PS5 if the game I want, the new, say it's new Horizon Zero Dawn, it's coming out on the PS4. So why should I get a PS5 just because you say it's going to be prettier on the PS5? And at the rate that they're selling, at the PS5 games are now talking $70 a game. I'm not going to buy a game twice.
Hey, that's Nintendo 64 prices there, man.
I mean,
I'm
Nintendo
so
had
glad
people,
I get a discount.
Nintendo had people buying cardboard, so I don't know if we can even categorize them. Like that's
cardboard, rubber bands, and glue. Yep.
That's a whole new video game hustle right there, boy. They
Oh, my
had people
goodness.
paying $60 for cardboard.
What was it? Labo, whatever they want to call it. Oh, my
Nintendo
goodness.
Lab had folks dancing around with garbage in their living room. That's
stuff I can build right now.
Right. That was a whole new hustle. Nintendo got on a whole nother level. Sony and Microsoft got some years to gain on that. Like
But you know what's funny? That you mentioned, now that you mentioned Nintendo has been doing this for a long ass time too.
Mm-hmm.
Nintendo, every time they come out with a new console, they have games that are supposed to be Switch exclusives that were still for the Wii U. You know what I'm saying? And before the Wii came out, well, when you had the Wii U, only Wii U exclusive games that were still being able to play on the Wii, and then before the Wii, whatever we had before that, because I can't remember, you could still get it on that too. And then you had GameCube, and then you still had Nintendo DS and 3DS and 2DS and whatever S. All those games ended up playing one another and all that. So they've been doing this for a long time. So I mean, Sony did it with the PlayStation 4 too. It wasn't with so many games, but they did it too.
That's true.
Yeah,
they did it with PS4 and the PS4 Pro with Spider-Man.
Yeah, you over there stewing, man.
First of all, I'm enjoying the dark chocolate. It's good as hell. Y'all, for real, man. X, I agree with you, but in a sense, I'm gonna kind of rebut a little bit what you said. Well, thank you everybody for being in the chat first and foremost. We appreciate y'all. You could have been anywhere else, but you decided to be over here. We appreciate it. Okay, y'all know there's always an issue whenever a video game releases, be it Sony, be it Nintendo, be it Microsoft. It's always an issue, even before this pandemic. Supply and demand. They doing this shit on purpose. I do believe that there is a surplus, and there could be enough game systems overseas to warrant the need for it over here. But every time a game system releases, it's always a shortage. Always. You go back to the PS2. People were scalping PS2s because of pre-orders. Go back to PS3. People were on eBay at the time selling PS3s for $1,400, $1,500. Same thing with the PS4. The problem that I have with these companies is that they full well know that before they even talk about doing the next generation system, they're not going to do right with the public anyway. Because if they did, they will learn from the mistakes not only that they've made, but mistakes that other companies like Nintendo and like Microsoft have made. But they keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over. What's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting different results. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. My thing is that when you're dealing with this whole situation in regards to the release, Sony screwed up. Well, from what I understand, it wasn't really Sony. It was Walmart that dropped the ball, because from what I understand, Walmart put the word out first, and then all the other retailers said, hell no, y'all ain't gonna get no leg up on us, so we gonna go ahead and do the same thing. And that's what started that domino effect. At the end of the day, I went to GameStop over here by us, X, and I talked to Sharif, and Sharif basically explained it. By the time they were able, because the release date was supposed to be the day after that whole state of play or whatever Sony calls what they call. When they actually decided that they were going to offer the pre-orders in store, They were already sold out.
Yeah, we had to pull our QR codes. Like we had a ton of QR codes that we hand the customers because we can't do pre-orders in store anymore. We started that before the pandemic, but we can hand you the little QR code. You can scan it, pre-order it from there. They send us an email as soon as we got to work and like, yo, pull those. Don't give them to anybody because they don't need the system to crash anymore.
And it makes no sense, man. You would think that after what generation are we in? That eighth generation of consoles?
Yeah.
Something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
We're in the eighth generation of consoles. So they've had, for Sony and Microsoft, they've had at least, well, Sony's had at least 6 or 7 generations. And for Microsoft, they should be at least Xbox 360, Xbox One. They're in the 4th generation of what, as far as them producing systems. They should know by now what works and what doesn't work. They should know, even without the bots, you still got people going out there pre-ordering 3, 4 PS4, PS5s out there. Checked earlier today on Sean's show. It was a guy that's selling one PS5 system. He had it for $1,374, $1,374 and some change, and it had 50 watches on it. Now you tell me. And the disc version of the PS5 is what, $499?
Yep.
So this dude is subject to make almost 3 times as much money off of that because of the fact that the supply is gonna be limited. And it's ridiculous, man. They need to do better. Like, honestly, the companies, the manufacturers, they need to do better. Just like Black Manta said, y'all know
I know for a fact the PlayStation 3 was going for that because I know somebody personally that was flipping them.
Somebody that sold it too. The Black Panther fan.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
quick question though. So, and this ain't me taking up for him, but can we really say, like, what you said earlier? The definition of insanity. Like, who is the insane one? The manufacturers or us as the consumers? Because
go ahead, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you straight, but like the consumer, I mean not the consumer, but the manufacturers, they got their bread. Every time this happens, whatever fiasco it is, they already got their money from these pre-orders.
Right, but it's twofold. Number one, it's the manufacturers for not doing better when it comes down to knowing that the demand for this particular product or your product is going to be high to the point you're never going to be able to satisfy everybody. But you want to put yourself in a position where you can get the majority of people that's out there trying to get this particular product from day one. Number two is the consumer for putting up with this shit, because you go out there and you subject yourself to waiting in line, staying up all night, refreshing your computer, whatever you got, taking 12-hour energies to stay up, not 5 but 12. It's your fault, my fault, and anybody else's fault that's actually contributed to that behavior, man. Because if consumers weren't doing it, they would do better. But the problem is that you got so many people out there. Oh, the PlayStation 5. Now I'm gonna get one, but I'm waiting. God of War don't come out till next year. That's when I'm gonna get one. But other than that, I don't need one. And if people had that same mentality, because you got some people out there now, they die hard gamers, they got to have it. I understand, because I've been there before. I bought my first Xbox day one.
Yeah, me too.
I'm ashamed to say this, and I'm gonna say this in front of all of y'all. I had a 3DO, and I bought that bit.
Hey man, there's nothing wrong in therapy.
The 3DO was a terrible system, man.
Woo.
Garbage. But me and one of my brothers chipped in, and we paid damn near $600 for a 3DO system, and it ended up being a paperweight. But I say that to say this: when you in that position where you're a gamer, you like gaming, you do some stupid stuff. I done took off work to play a game. I'm just being honest.
That we all taking off.
Marvel's Capcom came out for the Dreamcast. I was working at Best Buy. Guess what? I took 2 days off.
I can't make it.
I'm telling you. Well, I mean, we do stuff like that. But my thing is, the companies should be more in tune and more alert with everything that's going on, and they should be able to learn from their mistakes and say, we're going to do a little bit better. We may not be able to satisfy everybody, but we're going to try to do our best to get everybody in turn. And this is another issue too that we all know, dealing with games systems that release day one. Them ain't nothing but test systems, in my opinion. All the bugs, all the stuff that they have to deal with them game systems, man. What Xbox 360 came out, man. That first batch they had the
Red
red
Ring
Ring
of
of
Death.
Almost every single one of the Xbox had the
almost
red ring of death.
Yep, all of them.
they
It
released.
don't matter what wave.
They either at that point in time they either had to repair it for free, and if they couldn't repair it, they were replacing Xbox 360s with brand new Xboxes. Microsoft, they lost money. They was hemorrhaging money during that time frame. So I mean, you do whatever you do with your money, that's you. I'm all for it. If you like it, I love it. As for me, I'm waiting, man. I've learned, man, too many times, man, down the road. I've seen the eBay prices. I've seen the buy nows. I've seen the receipts that's out there right now. For me, it's not worth it.
Yeah, I still got my day one PS4, and it's still running. The only thing I had to do was swap out the hard drive because I ran out of space.
Yeah. And that's another thing too. I ain't mean to cut you off.
No, you good.
But why is it that these game companies, knowing that these game, man, the average game now for Xbox One or PS4 is at least 40 to 50 gigs of a game.
Yeah, easily.
If it's a game like, and don't let it be Grand Theft Auto 5. Hell, Grand Theft Auto is about a 60, 70 gig game. You put a 500 gig hard drive.
That's not suitable no more.
It's
Right.
not
anymore.
I know
Now
how they do it, but it don't make sense.
Well, see, now it's not suitable, but back when they first, like when the PS4 and the Xbox One first came out, we're going from what 120 gigs, 240 to 500. That was a ton. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely see what you're saying. You know, I would have just started off with a 2 terabyte hard drive. Hello. Yeah, I would have did a 2 terabyte hard drive off the rip.
Who y'all?
If I were doing it.
Yeah, Chris's mama, man. Chris's
Yeah,
mama
my mom's come to say bye. Mama,
Hey, how you doing?
yeah,
I started looking around. All in the house or something.
Hey man, as a matter of fact, that'll be a smooth transition to what we get ready to talk about. That was Kang in your back room, but that Kang was
Kane the Conqueror just snuck in.
Yeah, Kang, yeah. Man. So this week, fellas, we have talked about this. We have talked about this character. If you follow this show, this is a character we have talked about on numerous occasions. As a character that we could see possibly showing up. I'd almost say we go back almost 2 years. Kane the Conqueror was officially announced.
About
3 years. Yeah, 3 years. Yep. Has been announced. Jonathan Majors will be playing the role. I think that he's going to be a major player in the next phase of the MCU. I think he's going to open the door for groups like the Fantastic Four. A lot of people are now in play with Kane the Conqueror. A lot of time altering. And me and Xavier, us Flash folk that watch the Flash, we know about this time altering. So a lot of that is now at play. I just hope it's not on the level of what we watched on CW. But fellas, this is exciting news, and it also adds a little spice to Ant-Man 3.
Yeah.
So I think he's gonna be a villain that you'll get a good taste of him in Ant-Man 3, and then and so on, and we'll see what who he pops up in, what movie he pops up in. I'm excited. I'm
excited, called
man.
it though.
Speak on.
I hated to cut you off. Then I just thought about it. Tony Stark said it, and in Endgame he said, what did he say? You mess with time, it tends to hit back or something like that. Or and that matter. This time travel's already existed now. It's been introduced. So
that's why it makes sense for Ant-Man 3 to be the start of
Yeah.
Kang, because he introduced it that time
Right.
travel up.
Right.
Yeah.
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 I
And
don't
you
talk
know,
about time travel in Endgame.
and the funny thing is, Carson on the show earlier, with C. Wood, he not only brought up the possibilities of Fantastic Four, but the possibilities you have in Kang, you can have the Young Avengers come into play. Because their history with Kang and stuff. So there's a lot of things that they can open the doors with Kang the Conqueror and all the time travel and stuff, because he affects different eras. That's his whole thing, and it'd be interesting to see him as Immortus as well. Immortus, and Kang. How those two characters are the same but different in different eras. So I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I think Kang is when I say major player, I mean major player. This is actually, man, this is like really, it's kind of one of those things that you just really excited to see it and just watch it unfold. It was like when we all knew when Thanos, after you saw Thanos in Guardians of the Galaxy, you were like, oh yeah, it's time to get down to business. You knew what was coming, and you don't know what the thing about it is. You don't know what's coming behind him. That's what the anticipation is for me, is you don't know what villain is going to be ushered in with him.
I don't know. I'll play devil's advocate on this one. Having read Infinity Gauntlet and then seeing the movie, I don't know how excited I am about Kang, because Kang has so many amazing stories that they could potentially use to build up their next phases, just like they did with the originals to get to the Infinity Gauntlet and everything else.
Yep.
That we could end up getting this really great build up to end up not getting a really great payoff. Because let's just be real, I'm telling the truth. Infinity War and Endgame were not as good as everybody likes to say they were. They were good movies, but they were not as good as they could have been, because it's like they just stopped caring when they got to the movies. They played hardball, followed stories, gave you what you wanted, and then they got to the end and they were just like, my check clear, so it's whatever.
I gotta slightly disagree with that. I mean, we couldn't get everything in these movies because they didn't own everything to put in these movies. So we got great movies for what we had. But
I wasn't expecting to see Wolverine, but they
right.
could have bashed Spider-Man's head in.
We don't need that. We got Pretty Tony dead, so
I don't
alright
need
with
Pretty
that.
Tony dead.
I needed that. I needed that when he took the art reactor out of his chest. I needed him to die then.
I wanted to see Nebula with the Infinity Gauntlet.
Here's
like
what I want to know. This is what scares me about this, though. Has Disney learned their lesson from all of their previous villains, or are they going to kill him off in one movie like they've done almost every other villain?
I can't see that in the
That's what I'm worried about.
No, I don't think that's gonna happen, man. He's too major.
I didn't see them killing off what's his name on Yellow Jacket, but he got sucked into the void, his own void.
Right, gone.
Right. I mean, we can't say that they killed the villain in Ant-Man 2 because she really wasn't a villain. She was just trying to live, and that's what she did.
Well, you know what? William here poses a question, and this is something to kind of piggyback off what you're talking about. They may just introduce him in Ant-Man. They could just introduce him as Rama Tut, because you remember in Fantastic Four 19, that's he showed up as Rama Tut, and then later on he showed up as Kang the Conqueror. He's like, hey, I was Kang the Conqueror the whole time, fools.
Yeah,
right.
Gotcha, bitches. Ha ha.
That's just like Apocalypse.
Yeah.
Hold up. Yeah. You start with that, man.
No, I'm talking about comics Apocalypse, not Fox.
Comics Apocalypse.
Not Fox Apocalypse. No, not that. Not Fox Apocalypse.
I'm sorry.
But I'm interested to see how this plays out, man. I was excited when I got the news this week. They picked a brother to play the part, so it's gonna be interesting to see how this folds out long term. Any parting thoughts on Kang the Conqueror before we roll out?
Well, I'm with X. That was my biggest thing. Whether or not they gonna Brooklyn brawler him. You know what I'm saying? I mean, for real though. I mean, if you look at it, I mean, come on, look, Killmonger. You know, they supposed to be trying to retcon that. He died. He was a great
I
villain.
still don't think he did.
He might not be now. I mean, all things considered, they
Right.
might retcon it and bring him back.
Just saying, if
I mean-
T'Challa could survive being impaled and thrown off a waterfall and living on ice with nothing in him,
Right.
Killmonger is alive with the herb in him.
They gave him the impression that he died.
Killmonger's one of those characters in the comics. He came back multiple times. So
Yeah,
even when they killed him in the first Black Panther movie, I was like, they could easily bring him back. If they bring in Madam Slay, she was the one that helped resurrect him in that Iron Man storyline.
And he just passed out. That's all that was. He ain't dead.
I mean, the reality is now with Kang the Conqueror, you know, it's just like it was just said in the comic books. They can bring RDJ back. They can bring back, you know, they can bring back, but they can't bring back T'Challa, but they can bring back Killmonger, because who's to say that Kang don't go back in time and right after they toss him off the cliff or whatever the case may be, he don't dig him up and resurrect him, and then next thing you know, Killmonger's back. RDJ comes back as being Iron Man because now he's alive again because Kang saved him. With time travel being involved, they can now bring back whoever they would like to bring back as far as heroes and killed off villains. They've got that open door now.
I hope they don't use what you just said as a cop out to recast.
Man,
Black Panther.
Yeah.
I hope they don't do that. That'll be disrespectful. Like, just if you're gonna recast, I know this is going our way off, but it, you know, this stuff just ran through my mind as you said it. You're gonna recast. Don't do it and use Kang the Conqueror as a scapegoat,
right?
Slash, Flash and Flashpoint type stuff with DC.
Well,
I hope they don't do that. Go ahead.
Is use Kang the Conqueror to go back to the Fox universe and just blow that whole world up.
Yeah, man. You talk about.
They need to show that on. They need to show that on film too. Like Hugh Jackman looking at the sky, just start crying. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So, also this week was announced
6'3" Wolverine.
Something we had talked about. The last couple of years. This is a book that if you were collecting, you could have got this book. I know for a fact. Al got a copy. What, $40, Al? She-Hulk, $40. Chris, you saw them. I mean, Sean, you seen these books out on the circuit. They were giving them away. Hot cakes. We watched the guy today on the hall. Had 8 of them. This is about a couple years ago. 8 of them spread out. You could have got this book for little or nothing. They started murmuring rumors that She-Hulk was going to start showing up, and lo and behold, this week we get She-Hulk. So, fellas, Sean, I'm gonna start with you. Are you excited about She-Hulk, my friend?
I'm pretty
excited.
Because
you have the whole run. So
yeah, I have the whole Savage She-Hulk run, and you know I'm pretty excited about it. I think the casting was well. You know, I wouldn't say I've seen every episode of Orphan Black, but from what I've seen of it, you know, I thought she did well in her character because she played like a schizophrenic or something like that. But
I've seen it all.
And I think she'll do fine with it. And people talk about, you know, she's small and stuff. I'm like, you really think that she's actually going to be She-Hulk? She's playing Jennifer Walters. Right. They're going to CGI She-Hulk onto her, man. Like, what the fuck are y'all talking about, man? Come on, man. I thought it was a fine casting and stuff. And, you know, I just can't wait to see how it looks on television, on TV.
It can't be no.
So they think Mark Ruffalo is her Hulk.
Come on,
they thought Eric Bana was the Hulk. Right. They thought Ed Norton Jr. was the Hulk.
People have wild ideas, man.
What I mean, the only Hulk that we had was Lou Ferrigno. I mean, you clearly could tell that was a different actor.
Right, Bill Bixby
from
was not
Bill
Lou
Bixby,
Ferrigno.
right? Good God, these ass clowns out here, man.
I don't know, man. Sometimes the shit you see on the internet be like, man, why am I on the internet, man?
Like, that's enough internet for today.
Yeah.
It's time to shut it off.
I am excited. Wow. I watched all 5 seasons of Orphan Black, from beginning to end. I've listened to the audiobook that takes place 8 years after the end of the show. She is a phenomenal actress for the fact that she played, you know, in the show they were all clones. They weren't schizophrenic. It turns out all the other versions of her were clones. And she played every one of them. And by the end of the show, there was at least like 8 that she by the end of the show, by the end of the 5th season, she played like 8 different versions of the main character,
So
and she played them all herself. So she's got that wide range to play that type, to do that. And personally, for as far as She-Hulks are concerned, I want to see at least one story arc from I think it was Civil War II, the PTSD She-Hulk that got beat up by Thanos, and she was just like scared to turn into Jennifer was scared to turn into She-Hulk again because she was just scared from getting beat down by Thanos when they killed Rhodey.
But damn, they gave us Super Brawler She-Hulk after that. I
they did.
a fan of that.
So they made the Hulk, She-Hulk, and Infinity War.
Yep, that what it sound like. Because that's what happened to him.
Yeah, I mean, if you get your back slammed out and you don't bounce and you in zero gravity, I'd be scared to come out too.
Right. I hadn't thought about that, but yes, they did. They gave the Hulk PTSD just like they did when Thanos killed. Yeah,
they had him turn to a peaceful motherfucker after that.
Yeah, man, my boy.
He giving tacos away in Endgame. Oh my god!
Right.
My boy was out there on Eisenhower giving out bean pies.
Right, bean pie, my brother.
Thanos beat his ass so bad. He said, "Fuck this! I'm going to get a college degree or something, man. I ain't trying to fuck this shit."
He's like, I'm gonna go.
Hey, my boy said, "I'm going to DeVry. The hell with this." He said, "The hell with this, man."
Miller Mott.
Yeah.
Went and joined the champions. He was like, it's much easier being one of these guys.
Yeah, the Hulk switched entire different races.
Right.
Yeah. But
Amadeus chose now. It's your turn, bro. Go ahead.
Yo, man, yeah. They go all the way down the line.
You got it, bro. I'm done.
But you know what, fellas? You know what? Expect all these Hulk books, all these characters. Amadeus Cho. These Hulk characters, these books are going to start going through the roof. They've already started. Has anybody seen what Totally Awesome Hulk is going for?
No.
I mean, it's like that's like a $50-$60 book now, man.
That's a book I wouldn't even chase down. I don't want a Totally Awesome Hulk, man. That's not the Hulk for me.
It was not a good run. He was not.
Hey, a $50-$60 book, man.
Have Derek jump through this on screen at us. Blasphemous about the Hulk.
But
I like the Hulk, but not Totally Awesome Hulk. That's a damn sure.
She-Hulk was a book that was completely undervalued for years.
Yeah,
I mean, for years it was a book. I think I bought mine slab like little like $25-$30 or something like that back when it, at 9.8. They were just giving them away. And Black Manta put in the comments, he saw a guy 40 copies. I mean, I would go to conventions, man, just spend $5, $10 bins left and right. And it's just amazing to see how what we are is in the entertainment world where these characters are popping up now. And everybody's like, oh my god, I gotta go find She-Hulk #1. I gotta go get She-Hulk, and it's been sitting there the whole entire time at little enough. You couldn't give them away. I mean, folks giving away on hauls. Hey man, giving away book. Hey man, you want to get your donut? Hey man, get your copy of She-Hulk on the way out the door, man.
Not no more.
Yeah,
no more.
No, you go. I think I saw we got a store here, man, and this dude was selling his for $400 easy. 400 flat. 400 flat.
Speaking of, not to cut you off, did you see the price tag on that New Mutants 98 Raw at Bungie's?
Movie wasn't that good.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
You saw the price?
Hey, just hold that. We're gonna get to that when it comes to the next segment. Just hold on. Hey man, we got a rank
coming or something.
Yeah, just hold tight. We're gonna get to all that on the next segment. But She-Hulk is a character, and then you got the first series of She-Hulk, and you got the second series of She-Hulk. The sensational She-Hulk. That was books were sitting out there, in the value. Yeah, in the value bin for years, and it's actually really good to see that now she's gonna get some shine. And I'm glad I got these books. When I did, I'm like Sean, I got mine when they were giving away for $2, $3, $1, $5, sets on eBay for little or nothing, And so now that she's getting ready to take off, man, it's gonna be cool, man. Al, you got any thoughts over there, brother, on She-Hulk?
I mean, I've never seen Orphan Black, but from what I've heard, I heard the same thing Chris said about the young lady's versatility. So, I mean, as long as she could be convincing, I mean, it's not that it shouldn't be that hard for people to, especially for people to sit and say she shouldn't be She-Hulk. Like, you, those.
I
No.
saw somebody in the chat earlier said, and rest of her soul, but somebody said that China is still She-Hulk to him. I was like, come on, man.
That
That's
was a
dirty.
porno. I mean, his expectations were very low.
Cold blooded.
I was like, come on,
I'm just being
man.
real. I mean, we all grown. That was a porn, an Avengers porn parody. So if you gonna use that as a measuring stick of She-Hulk, man, brother, you need to go somewhere and evaluate everything that happened.
Low expectations.
I mean, your expectations are super low, and that ain't no disrespect to China, but I mean, really, like, and I seen that too, like, especially on IG, man. But you gotta understand, man. Some of these folk, man, they picked up a comic book a day in their life, and their best friend is Wikipedia and the Marvel Wiki. So you just have to pray for them because they don't know no better. That's all I got to say about it, man.
Next up, this week, for those who have not been out and had a chance to go do their shopping, if you are, go to your local comic book store, online store, wherever you go. You may need to make sure you check out these beautiful Alex Ross covers.
Man,
Week, those are some really nice covers, y'all. I saw a few of them posted in the group, and a couple of them out and about, man. Al, I saw you talk about how gorgeous they were, man. Is that you looking at getting them all, or you gonna get a few?
The ones that I'm getting, they got on my pull list up at Origin, but and those are X-Men related, but I got the Hulk one, I got that one on reserve. I'm getting that Shang-Chi. Now that Shang-Chi is fire. Outside of the X-Men, those are like the only two non-X-Men books. But that Iron Man one look good too, man. Like Alex Ross is just a beast when it comes down to art, man. That dude, his art has a level of realism that actually takes the comic book characters and kind of puts them kind of like in a real world type situation. Like that's what the Hulk would look like for real with chest halves and all that kind of stuff. But those books, man, I'm actually surprised about. I'm surprised that those books didn't get jacked up like the rest of these books been getting jacked up.
Yet.
Yeah, it hadn't happened. Thankfully, they've been selling them for cover price. But I know, they got them over at Prime Time, and the Storm was sold out like it sold like hotcakes. So apparently that's one of the favorites amongst from what I seen. But the Jean Grey that's coming out, man, that sucker look good too. So yeah, I plan on getting a few of them, but I'm not getting all of them.
Sean,
that's a bit too much to get all of them. I'm getting the Storm one. I know that because it should be in my box. I ain't go to the shop yet, but I know it's in there because I told them, put that Storm in my full box. But yeah, man, Alex Ross, you cannot go wrong with Alex Ross. One of my favorite artists is, the detail of his work is just so strong and so convincing to the eyes that the moment you see a cover, you just want to pick it up. And I wasn't picking up Captain America or Immortal Hulk, but damn, those covers were fire, man. Like people were selling them for more than cover price just because of the covers. Because Alex Ross can do no wrong. Every cover he done, he probably had maybe 1 or 2 weak ones, and then he'll respond with like 5 straight fire ones, But these covers, it's Marvel just trying to suck our money out of our wallets by trying to get us to buy all of them because it's Alex Ross, and it's hard. Like you said, Al, the Hulk and the Iron Man, you probably wasn't planning on getting them, but when you look at them, you thinking of walking out the store with them.
Dude.
They just gorgeous,
And I heard that Iron Man story is actually pretty good too. I actually heard that was a pretty good read. I hadn't read it myself, but I've heard a couple of guys review it, and they say it turned out to be actually pretty good. Have y'all seen that? I know Al talked about it in our Facebook group. But I saw the cover late Thursday night, man. The one with him and the thing at the diner
Mm,
With the
yeah.
with the waitress.
with the sister. Yeah, the sister pouring the coffee.
Yeah, I seen it.
Yeah, that is a sick cover.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, Alex Ross, man, when he drop a cover, it's almost just like he's on like Del Auto. It's like some guys that drop a cover, you just like, yep, gotta pick it up.
Hey, when I didn't mean to cut y'all, Chris, but this dude, I posted a picture of it on my IG page, and this one dude under my comments talking about, I wonder if that's Shirley from What's Happening, giving them.
Oh man.
I saw
I
that.
thought the same thing. I said, boy, they need to stop.
If it, you are right though, it probably could be because a few of the things that make Alex Ross as good as he is, one is that he is one of the few artists that are doing comic books, probably the only artist that is doing comic books that still hand paints his artwork, for one thing. And then for two, he uses live models. All the people you see, the Captain America, the Iron Man, those are friends or family members that he gets to like hold the Captain America shield or hold the Iron Man helmet or whatever, and to do the poses he wants. And he does a life drawing of them to get the pose he's looking for with the lighting he wants. And then he draws it out and then he paints it. Because in the Kingdom Come story, the character Norman McKay is actually Alex Ross's father.
Mm-hmm.
And he used him as a reference and got him to stand in poses and everything. Same thing for the Shazam he used. A friend of his is Shazam in Kingdom Come. He had him put on the costume
It's
and
a strong
stand.
ass friend.
Yeah. He had him do the whole costume and everything. Yeah.
That splash page of Shazam standing over Superman is so it's iconic, man.
Shazam!
Uh,
But he's also known for doing those those references. So if you look in the backgrounds of a lot of his artwork, you'll see pop culture references. Stan Lee made a couple of cameos, I think, in Kingdom Come. In the cover or in the splash page that was for Fantastic Four with Reed
That's
Richards and
crazy.
Sue getting married. You saw Jack Kirby in the audience, attending the wedding and stuff like that. So it could be Shirley. It could Ron and Rerun them could have been in the background at the diner. You never know.
Ron was running outside the shop.
Right.
Hey.
Exactly. That's what makes
X,
him such a really great
in my
author.
head now.
X, you want to add anything on these Alex Ross? Anything else you want to add?
I mean, it's self-explanatory.
All right.
He's one of the few. He's one of the few, especially now, that you see not just a whole cover, but you just see a small piece of it. You know exactly who it is.
Yeah.
And there ain't too many out there like that nowadays.
That
Quality.
Fantastic Four cover with Namor. That's one of the ones I
Yeah.
want. And I ain't even a
that's a
Namor
classic
fan.
one. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a classic one.
Oh, I don't know, man. I don't even like Namor, so I'm avoiding that at all costs.
I don't like him either.
I don't care how good Alex Ross draws Namor. I don't like that character at all. I can't stand looking.
He can't stand the asshole of the Marvel Universe.
damn ankle feet bum. Those ankle wings, man.
Next up, the main event. The main reason why most of you all are here tonight. The World Heavyweight title is on the line. Collecting why patience is required, and sometimes you have to wait it out. This was something that came to my mind early after collecting during the pandemic and after watching the madness, which was the Robin King the last couple of months, which was the Peach Momoko variants, which was, the characters that we've named, the Eternals. You got, just book after book we've seen going for crazy prices. And then you go to a store and you dig through a loan box and you see it for $2. While you look on eBay and you see people paying 75 people bidding on one book, and it's 3 times what you just saw for in $2. People, when you're collecting, it requires time. Unless it's something that is just, for a fact you're not going to see it again. You know for a fact that you're not going to see it again. And I'll spoiler. I'll give y'all a spoiler. Xavier's Hall tonight is a classic example of why patience. If you can be patient, you will find a really, really good deal. And see, a lot of times what I've seen, and I've watched guys, I've watched people when I'm out, they're paying set, and I know Larry's gonna come on and say, well, man, Matt, man, it's what they want to pay over the price, if that's what they want to pay. But I'm talking about guys that are collectors. I've seen guys that are collectors. You can tell they're collectors because they have the pad, the pencil. You know these guys. We all know these guys, and they're
Yeah, and I saw that post that y'all posted.
Yeah. You know these guys, and they're paying 5, 10, 15 times over the price, and then they're upset when you find the book for $2, $3. It's like I told X today. This is one reason why in the last couple of weeks, and everybody on this panel knows this, I've been traveling, going to different stores, going to different spots like that. I hit 2 spots today. And it's because of the fact that right now, if you really look at the situation that we're in the country, you're in a situation, there's no Comic Con. Well, outside of the one that happened in Huntsville that I hate we all missed. But other than that, they're either being canceled or they're not happening. Well, so Matt, what are you saying? What I'm saying is that a lot of that stock that will be at Comic Con are sitting at stores and they've got to come off of it. And either that or they're buying new stock. Talked to the store owner yesterday. He said he got 50 new long boxes coming in. Talked to a guy today. Said he's got some new stuff coming in. Overheard a conversation at another store about a guy getting ready to buy some stock. The stores are buying this stuff and they're putting it out there. They've got to sell this stuff. Most stores, or any stores that's about themselves, has got to sell it. Now, we know a couple of stores that shall remain nameless, that we have a love and hate relationship with. These stores get stuff and they like to show it off so that people can see it and look at my trophies, look at my Predator, look at my trophy room, look at, I'm Shao Kahn, hear me roar. Look what I have. The actual store owners that are actually trying to move stuff are getting it out the door. Mm-hmm. And they're getting it out the door at good prices. $3 here, $2 there, $1 here, $3. And you got everybody on this panel can attest to this. 4 or 5 years ago, I would have killed for an app like the Key Collector. You got apps that literally do the work for you, and all you gotta do is be patient. Okay, I need to, go down the list. You've got when you go to eBay. If you're dealing with a dude that like to go to go check eBay for everything, you got to just go look for it. Hey, sold. What has it sold for? There's an art to this thing. Too many people are going to the store and then they see, oh my gosh, the first appearance of Slapstick and it's for $400. I gotta have this. I've got to get this. And so then you and now realizing that book, that's and I'm being facetious. Everybody knows I'm being facetious, but you can get these books at really good prices. You just have to be patient. And then there's a period of it where sometimes you just got to sit it out all the way. You got to go, you know what? Not entertaining it. Because I've seen books that I wanted to buy that, of course, I went up to Dave's with Larry last week, and there are books that was there that I wanted to get 2 or 3 years ago that were way out, especially those J. Scott Campbell books, way out of the sky. And I'm like, oh no, I can't, no way. So I sit it out, and you turn around a couple of years later, you end up getting that same variant for a little or nothing, and you score it. So, fellas, what are your thoughts? We will start with Chris. Chris, what are your thoughts on why it requires patience when you are collecting? Chris, before you do that, let's go to. We hadn't been to the chat tonight. Let's go down to the chat. G-Man is in the building. G-Man says it's all about the hunt. You have to take time. Some people have none. It's so bad. I understand thou. And let's see what else we got there. Yep, Barbarian is in the building. It broke my heart to hear that with canceling ATL Comic Con. Absolutely. I got that news Thursday. They actually canceled the one they were talking about doing in December. That one actually got canceled too. So, Dave. Dave's dollar bin. I'm telling you, man. This man knows. I'm telling you. And you know that's another thing too. And I'm getting to you, Chris. Is that dollar bins? You know, kudos to the shop owners in their dollar bin and know they put it in their dollar bin. You know, that is what you call making it worthwhile. And it also makes you keep coming back. Don't y'all hate going to dollar bins, man, and y'all see DP7 in the every time you flip, you see DP7 or you see Genetic X. That's all you see. That's all you see. Genetic X, DP7, you get a random Lobo book, you get a Legionnaires 163. You know, you get those off-brand books, but every once in a while, you'll flip through there and you'll find a Dark Avengers. You'll find a book worth of poop. So kudos to the shop owners that are actually doing that, man. Chris, the floor is yours, my friend.
Yeah. I'll take it from the standpoint of collecting on a budget. You know, Al touched on a little bit of this on his off the rack. You know, the patience comes from having the understanding that when it comes to collecting comic books, keeping up with the Joneses will break your bank. You know, you have to understand, you have to buy within what you can comfortably afford to have. Now, we all like tons of comic books. I mean, if you see my back wall, if you've ever seen the rest of my room, I read everything. But there's certain ones that you might want to have, but you can't have everything. You know, you can't go out, you know, with caviar taste and tuna fish money. Those two things just don't work. You know, and you have to have that patience. Like for me, I go to a comic shop maybe once or twice, you know, every month or so. And when I do, I go out, I'm on a budget. I've got X amount of money I know I can spend, and I know I'm going to hit those dollar bins. I'm going to take my time. I'm going to go through them. And I'm looking for a couple of things. I'm looking for key issues. I'm looking for stuff to fill in my holes. And I'm looking for stuff for my cover walls because I love collecting really great, amazing covers. And I'm looking for my Alex Ross stuff to finish in that section, you know, and you can find those in the dollar bins if you're looking, if you're patient, if you're willing to take the time to just go out. And even if you can only go to one comic shop in your area, and maybe that comic shop doesn't, you know, rotate their stock as often as you would like, but then instead of going to them all the time for your you know, your once a month, you know, hunt, then go a little bit further out. You know, put in the time to find somewhere else that you can go. Still go to your local comic shop to pick up your weekly stuff, but then go to a different comic shop that may be the next town over to do your hunting, to go find something, you know, and you'll never know what you might find. But you've got to have that patience. And I mean, and really, if you're a comic book reader, patience should be in your DNA, because Lord knows we've all sat around waiting on the next issue of a comic book that might never come out, depending on who's putting it out.
Yeah.
So
What the hell is saga?
Seven to eternity.
We've all been there. So we all have that patience. We just aren't always willing to use it, you know, with our best judgment to get what we want, because we've all kind of gotten to the point of liking that instant gratification. And I understand the pandemic has put us there, because we've all sat around and spent an entire week with nothing but Uber Eats coming to our door. But, you know, maybe you should just remember you got it. And look, X, you know what I'm talking about, X. Sometimes you just...
yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, you know, use that patience and just be like, you know what? This is what I'm looking for. Make a list. Put it in your phone. You know, figure out what you're missing. That's what I'm doing. I spent the last week cataloging my comic books, seeing the stuff that I'm missing, the gaps that I got. So that way, the next time I go out, I've got my list in my catalog on my phone. I know exactly what I'm missing. I know what issues I need to find. I'm going to hit them dollar bins and go looking for stuff. And it's all about just waiting. It's waiting for the moment to strike. You like shopping on eBay and snaking stuff from people? It's the same thing. That's
that
my
requires
2 cents.
a lot of patience.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
eBay now eBay hunting, it takes a lot of patience, and you have to do a lot of observations, because a lot of times you'll see, just because you see a bid with a whole bunch of people on it, you know, you don't necessarily know what's going on that bid. It could be somebody multiple bidding, or it could be a case of you got a book where somebody just like see, when you get those bids and you got 40, 50 bids on something, it's kind of the idea of competition starts creeping in.
Mhm.
I've got to win this. He's not going to get this. I'm going to beat him all the way down to the punch, you know. And whereas if you be a little patient, stay up a little late sometimes, you get on eBay 1, 2, 3 in the morning, you find what we call the midnight marauder deal, where you roll in, you snag it, and you out of there. And you pay little or nothing. And then you wonder, well, how did this book go for $4? How did this book that's $300 go for $4? How did this happen? It's because somebody took patience and they paced themselves and they actually got what they were, out looking for. They didn't just jump on it right when it first came out. Sean, your thoughts, brother?
I agree 100% with the whole eBay thing. When it comes to eBay with me, I be patient and looking. If I see something with 40, 30, even 20 something bids, and I know people are actively going for it, so I just watch it, and then I have a spending limit, so if it goes past my price range of where I want to be get it at, I'm not going for it no more. Plain simple. If it goes past a certain price and people will continue to bid on it, I'll drop out. I know I can find it somewhere else at a better price. And one of the things about patience is, last year when I was at Tampa Bay Con, I had a chance to get the first appearance of Killmonger. First, it was a nice condition book. It was priced at $120, and the guy had 20% or I think 40% off. We was at that booth for like freaking an hour and a half. But I passed on it. I was like, I can probably still find one relatively cheaper. And earlier this year, I was able to get a mid-grade copy of that book with 2 other Black Panther books for $60. So I was like, that's like what, $20 an issue, and you get a first appearance of Killmonger right there, Jungle Action. I was satisfied with it. The book is in mid-tier condition. I would say it's about at least a 6.5, and I'm happy with that. Patience is always the key to trying to get books that you actively want. Like when She-Hulk won, I got that for $40. And around that time, the book was still going for like between $30 and $50. I got it for $40, and now later on the book started going up, creeping on up, and I was like, if I'm patient enough, I can get it at a decent price. And one book that I thought I never would have gotten was ASM 129, First Punisher. I got that off a raffle. And those raffles is gambles because there's no chance you might win. But I was like, all right, it's ASM 29, 20 spots, $20 a spot. I paid for 4 spots, that's $80, and I won. And I was like, I got ASM 129 for $80 on a raffle. And I was fortunate, but at the same time, at least it was only $80 compared to what the prices of that book tends to go for. So sometimes it's luck. Sometimes you gotta be patient, and it'll come to you. Just you'll go through them dollar bins, you go through the $5 bins and $10 bins, and you might find that key issue that you've been looking for in those bins. It all takes hunting, digging in them long boxes, and just being patient about it.
One of the things you hit on there, Sean, is, and this is something that I used to see at conventions a lot, is they get what I see people get what I call one-itis, where they go to one booth, and then, or if they go to that booth, it's not like how Xavier, like when we went to the Atlanta Comic Con last year, and we hit the jackpot right out of the gate. Dude had everything for $5 and $3. You don't run to that guy and he's got quality books. No. What happens is they go to that one dude that has the most gorgeous display.
Yeah.
He has the best look. Sean, you know what I'm talking about. They have the best looking display. They got everything slapped nice and neat, man. And you see nothing but high dollar books. And then they dig in there, and then that's it. They're like, oh man, he's got everything, and then and they don't go take a look around, walk around the con and see what you have, what's there. Because I always say when there's a Comic Con, there's at least 3 to 4 vendors that are there that's just ready to just get off of books. They don't give a damn what is going on. They don't care. Hey, I just don't want to take these home. My wife said these books got to be out of the house. I cannot come home with these books, or I'm gonna get fired. I'm gonna get divorced. You know, I'm gonna get big remote. I got to be out of here. You know, and so uh, what I see is that guys who don't take their time and look around, they miss out on a lot of deals, man. At comic shows, man. I mean, to this day, I still say that the biggest example of that was last year when we were at the Comic Con. For those who are new to the channel, you can go back and watch our video at from the Atlanta Comic Con. You'll see the stat was this high of books out of a $5 bin. Talking about Adam Hughes. The guy had a box. Listen to this: a box, 2-3 boxes, long boxes of Adam Hughes variants for $5. Where do you find that at? Where do you find these, like that? You have to take your time. Ask people when you're at the shows, hey, do you have such and such? That's how I landed Kane the Conqueror. I asked the guy was walking by. The guy in the shop was passing by as he was going to his bag. I said, hey, man, you got a copy of Kane the Conqueror? I don't see one on the wall. He said, yeah, I just bought one the other day. Here you go. I'll let you get it for $45. I mean, sometimes you just got to ask, but a lot of times people go to these shows, they don't have any patience. They go and run in, they get excited. Or in our case, like when we go to the con up here, y'all, the one over at the Marriott, they have it at the Marriott, you can't even get in the damn thing good. They got the display already outside, and somebody's already got New Mutants 98 ready to go. They're ready to go. And somebody, oh man, he's got before you can even get in the door, you already spending $400-$500. And then you're mad when you get inside and the dude said another vendor got New Mutants 98 for $175.
That's why when I go to cons, I try and get into the little negotiation skills. Ask about what deals I can get off some of those wall books and stuff. If I see it for 90, I'm gonna see if I can get it for like 75 or 70. You know what I mean? See what they're willing to give it to me for. If they say, all right, that's still a reasonable price for them, they'll take it. Some of them guys say, nah, they want to go to the phone and say it values at this price, so I gotta sell that at that. And I'm like, man, I can go over there at another booth and get it for cheaper. Because I saw the other guy had $10 cheaper than you. But yours look presented well, so I'm gonna see what I can do to negotiate it down. I'll go to the other guy and get a lower grade.
Hey, Puff, you know what kills me about like what you just said? That the same guy that said, well, it's valued at XYZ. I got to sell it for this. They have 5 copies of the same book at the same grade for the same price. And guess what? You're going to have 5 copies of the same book at the same grade at the same price because you didn't want to come off with one. How much money are you making if you don't sell it? Your value should be at how much you can get value.
Which is back to what Matt always says: a book on the shelf don't make me no money.
That's gonna be the new slogan of the Comic Hall of Roundtable discussion. If you are in business as a comic book store and you're not selling books, then you need to shut it down. You need to open up a museum and pay a fee so folks can come in and look at your books because you're not selling them.
When you can't get the dust off of a book, something wrong.
Al, your thoughts on this, my brother?
I follow the same mentality as Chris and Sean, especially what Sean say. I'm always, trying to get a deal. I'm not trying to get over on somebody, but if they're offering a fair price for a particular book, then I'm good. I mean, especially eBay. If I see a book on eBay that I like, I already formulate what I feel is a fair price for that book. Whether it's a buy it now, whether it's a make an offer, or whether it's an auction. If it's an auction, I said, okay, I'm not going past X number of dollars. If at that point the book goes over that, I'm out. Because I've been buying comic books long enough to know when a particular seller, whether it be a comic book store or it be a vendor at a comic book convention, or whether it be eBay, I have the ability to determine or discern what that book is actually worth. And just because that book might be a quote unquote hot book right now, doesn't mean that it's going to always remain. And we've seen that. We've seen certain books rise and dip over the past few years that we've actually been talking about. So the patience thing is a must, because especially now with the lack of cons, where the competition is not as prevalent for people to go to different cons. Because I mean, let's face it, when we go to conventions, especially if it's a decent sized convention, at the end of the day, those vendors are there competing against each other for your
Yep.
money. Now you have some that don't want to come off of it, and they'll be, trying to sell the Jack of Hearts limited series for $400 for whatever reason, because Stanley touched the books back in '89. But at the end of the day, that there may be somebody else at that same convention that might have that same limited series for a lot less and a lot better condition. So it's good to shop around, so to speak, regardless of where you go. I mean, case in point, I mean, your boy, I ain't gonna say his name, but you have a nickname for him, Matt. He tends to overextend and overcharge his books, and good time well, a lot of the books that he's actually, especially his graded books, are asinine. And that if you were one of those particular people that bought on impulse, you'd be SOL, because you could more than likely find a book at Dave's or at Oxford or Book Nook for a whole lot less. So it's all about exercising patience and being able to just sit and wait until that time comes, and then just strike when the iron is hot.
Yeah, I mean that's what it boils down to, man. Uh, and as Sean hit this too, digging loan boxes, man. Let me tell you, today was a classic example on when me and X went to the store, which was shock. It was going to shock y'all when I tell y'all where it was at. When you go to the store and then you're able to dig and go through boxes, because what happened is a lot of times shop owners that have a huge inventory, they have a very very huge inventory, are not able to get back into those loan boxes and reprice books. They don't have the time to do it because it requires a lot of work. Well, what happens there? That allows an opportunity for you as the consumer to go to said loan boxes and find really good deals. Happened last night. Sean and Al will tell you. I came up on a steal last night, all because I went to the loan box and just happened to look over in there, and by God, it was still sitting in there, and paid $15 for a Black Panther #2, and so it was in there. It's his store, but guess what? The inventory is so big to, there's deals in there. We talked to Dave today at Dave's store. He said, "Hey man, there's a lot of stores where you can find a lot of deals because these guys just don't have time to go back through the inventory." And and God bless the store owners that honor whatever comes out of that box. Because a lot of guys, we know how this goes. You get the book, you pull it out, you go up to the counter, and then you know what time it is. You hope, you just praying and hoping that common sense rules today. And so when you're out and about at these shows, I cannot stress to you enough. Go to the dollar bin. Go to the dollar bin. I have pulled out many a G. I've watched Al just go to the dollar bin. He have that sack, and when I see Al pull that handkerchief, that cloth, that rag out, and he lean over that counter, I know that he has found the holy grail of loan box of dollar bin loan boxes.
Let me tell you something about the dollar bin. I lived off the dollar bin since I was a teenager. When I was going to cons in high school by myself in New York City, the first thing I hit was dollar bins. Like, I looked for dollar bins, $2 bins, $3 bins, but I always search for dollar bins because I know I can get the most out of my hunting skills. Digging them dollar bins, I could walk out with 50, 60 comics that I all paid for $1. And that's what I live for. Ever since my youngin' days, I lived for the dollar bins.
Sean, I think, well, you know what? And I've seen shop people that come into shops, man. It's like they fling their nose at the dollar bin as if the dollar bin is beneath me. I'm not going to the dollar bin. Hey man, check out the dollar bin. Oh no, I'm over, bro. And you'd be surprised at how many books I've seen that's in a regular box in the dollar bin. Yep. And in better shape.
Hold on.
All
How
the
about that
time.
time I went to the comic book store that shall remain nameless that we have a love-hate relationship with, and I pulled out a Black Hammer for $1 and then come back in there like what two about a week later, and the comic book store owner pulled out all the dollar because it was about 3 or 4 of them in the box. And he pulled all of them out when he saw me come to the counter with that book. And then when it had at least 2 of them graded, and now he got them on the shelf at the very top of the
Collecting dust.
it's the newborn dust that come out the ceiling, like it's the fresh dust.
Yeah.
Losing value from discoloration from the lights and everything.
But my thing is, and he thought when he saw that Black Hammer #1 that he had no choice but to sell it to me for $1. He said, "Okay, well, I'm shortchanging myself." So now he got 1 or 2 of them graded, and he's selling like a 9.8 of that book for $100, which it ain't worth that much.
He really shortchanged himself.
And he's still sitting on that book.
He can sell all of them. He's still in the hole.
I mean,
How many copies of that Avengers Spider-Man 9?
me and Larry went to the Dollar Bin. Well, actually, we got invited to go to the Dollar Bin. We were leaving the store. The store owner said, "Hey, man, I bought a collection." He said, I hadn't even looked at it. He said, "I don't even know what's in it." He said, "But I can tell you it's some good stuff." He said, "Please, before y'all leave, go to the Dollar Bin." He said, if you pick up so many books, I'll let you get them for 50 cents. Man, Larry walked out there, and we were digging, and this is when you know you hit the gold mine at Dollar Bin. You start seeing books that look familiar, like, whoa, wait a minute, man. Hey, let's keep going, you know. And so, soon as I said that, Larry said, "Hey, man, look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 copies of Avenging Spider-Man #9 for $1. I personally went to Second and Charge in Columbus, Georgia, on my way back from a job, and I was digging through a box, and I found Harbinger #1 for 50 cents. 50 cents. There are deals. I would never thumb my nose up at the Dollar Bin. I would never thumb my nose up at the 50-cent pot. You know, no way, Jose. Especially when I hear guys say, "Hey, man, if you get so many of them, I'll give you a deal," because that usually means something's over there, and they just want to come off of it. You know, me and John. I don't know if John's watching. When the guy that's in the Days video from this week, the brother John, he mentions it. There's deals in Dollar Bin. The Dollar Bin, like Sean said, man, the Dollar Bin, man, can save you a lot of money long term. Long term, man. Nothing sucks worse than seeing a book go through the roof that you saw in the Dollar Bin 9 months ago. Nothing sucks worse than that. I can tell you that from living it myself. But these guys that go to the stores and they thumb their nose up at the Dollar Bin, like for those who go to Book Nook, and Sean, you know this, Al, you know this, Xavier, you know this, and Larry's in the chat, he knows this. They have one of the biggest Dollar Bin sections probably in the state. They've got a whole side of a building dedicated to 50 cents. They have 50 cent books.
They got 50 cent boxes too.
Yeah.
Man, it blew my mind when I saw that.
And me and Larry went, the last time me and Larry was there, we sat there for like 3, 4, 5 hours going through the 50 cent bin and coming out with gold.
I couldn't believe that.
Al.
To add what's been said, to give you an example, I don't know why people, not everybody, but a lot of collectors, they scoff at that Dollar Bin, but I've seen this with my own eyes, and if I'm not mistaken, Matt's seen it too. Ultimate Fallout, the Miles Morales comic book store up in McDonough, Georgia, Origin Story Comics. I seen that book in the Dollar Bin last year. Let that sink in.
I like the dramatic effect.
No, the dramatic effect would have been this. But seriously though, I mean, I'm just saying, now that's the hottest book this year.
Yeah.
But early last year, up there at Origin Story, digging in the dollar bin, and see me personally, I'm trying to get out of this myself. I'm not that type of person where I just pick stuff up just to pick it up. I do, but I don't, because I'm very meticulous as far as what I collect. A lot of the stuff I collect, I have a purpose when I collect it. But hindsight, had I known what I know now, the 2 or 3 copies that I saw, I would have picked them up. But I didn't. They were in a dollar bin. Now, I mean, that book, depending upon the grade, 2-3 G's easy.
Once again, it proves the point that there is value in the dollar bin. For those DC collectors, man, if you collect DC books, the dollar bin is where you should be at all times. Especially if you're looking for older runs of books. You know, Xavier tell you today, what was I looking for? Legionnaire. I went straight to looking in the dollar bin, trying to see if I can find. You know, you can find a lot of old Adam Hughes artwork in the dollar bin if you look hard enough.
Man, you guaranteed to fill in a Batman run in the dollar bin.
Oh man, easy.
Yeah,
Easy.
Yep.
It's like, especially if you just want to feel the run.
$1, man. $1.
Somebody, you can find so many beaters. Let's say if you got a good copy and you don't even you scared to touch it and read it because you think you'll lower the grade, buy it for $1 out of dollar bin and read that. Read the beater and send the other one off to get slapped.
And then well, let's increase the value. Let's use $5. The $5, I always say $5 and big time deals at. Or if you can get low grade copies. And if Calvin's watching, he'll tell you. Today we was over at Dave's and we pulled out a Fantastic 430. And I said, "Oh man, Dave, let you get this for about $10." He looked at it, thought about it. He's like, "Well, you know." And then he thought about it. He was like, "Wait a minute, $10 for FF30? Oh yeah, this has got to get done. We got to do this, you know, because a low grade in that book, long term, is still going to serve you better than trying to buy. You know, you might can find a better, you know, good copy down the line, and if you can afford it, you can get it. But hey, man, that's a deal. That's a deal. When you can get books like that for that price, it's a deal.
Especially a Fantastic Four book at that issue number, Silver Age, $10. I'll walk out the fucking door with that book real quick.
Yeah.
Here's your $10. Let me go.
Yeah, I cannot wait for you to come today, Sean. Because
boy, man.
I'm telling you, man,
we'll be there the first thing they open, and we be the last ones leaving.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, I'm telling you, man.
Trust me, it was like that when we was at Sci-Fi City. I thought we was never gonna leave Sci-Fi City when they had that 25-cent sale on back issues. We was there for like almost 4 hours, bro, just digging nonstop. Yeah. We looking all over the place. Steve said, "Yo, Sean, they got Ghostbuster comics here." I'm like, "Where?" I hold that, get all the way around there and get some other books that they have bundles in, all for 25 cents. I was like, there's books to be had, there's books to be brought out there, and that dude was like, "I'm glad these 4 guys showed up because at that time we were the only guys in that aisle digging for books."
I was hoping Larry got on because I think Larry is I think it was Larry or either you, Al. Which one of y'all went to that show down in Warner Robins and y'all were leaving? That was you, Al. And the guy, and you were leaving out, and the guy was like, "Hey man, I'll sell you the box for $50 or something like that." I mean, if you be patient, I mean, last year the heist, the comic book heist last year.
Oh man, that was the greatest photo I've ever seen, man.
I mean, we knew just wanted to get rid of it. He said, "Hey man, I want to clear this out to put in new comic books, man. Y'all can get whatever you want." What? Anything? Yeah. All of these? Yeah. Can we take them and go through them? Yeah. All right. Well, I'll go rent the van. I'll be back next week. Come back, load up 40 long boxes. Hence what's behind me. I had to start putting them up on shelves because I got too many all throughout the house. I mean, comic book collecting requires so much patience.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot get caught up in the hype. You cannot get caught up on what you see on the internet about this character showing up and all this. If you're just now getting excited when that character shows up to buy that book, you've missed the boat. You've already missed it, unless you come up on a deal that same week. You completely miss the plot, and then you
And-
got to wait for it to go
And
down.
I'm not the person that needs to jump all over something like most people do. Like if it's well out of my price range, then I ain't gonna lose sleep over.
Yeah.
Right.
People be losing their minds over. They got to have this. I'm like, I look at that price and I'm like, no, I am perfectly fine, bro. I am perfectly fine. If I find it for cheap, I'll bring it home, but not at the price they trying to sell it for. No.
We had a guy at the show last year. We had a guy at the Atlanta Comic Con last year, and this guy had the second appearance of Deadpool. X Force, what is that? Al X Force 11.
No, that's number 2. I think
The second appearance. No, the third appearance. No, it was the second one. It's yellow cover. Second appearance.
yeah, it's got Maverick on it.
Yeah.
Not Maverick, but I can't always.
Yeah, you know.
Oh, I know. Talking about Kane.
Yeah.
This guy had that book for $95.
Now,
95. I'm not making this up. Xavier was there. He was there. Larry was there. They saw this. $95. There was a brother that was there, and he was looking. I said, I just tapped him on the shoulder. Bitch, I had to say that don't fall for that because he didn't know any better. And so I was like, hey man, don't fall for that. You can go get that book for $95. You can go buy 12 of those and still have room enough over to get you a first appearance to Cable if you know how to look hard enough. I mean, people get so excited when they see books, and then a lot of times what I've learned, and this is the side, is that they see a large price on the book, so they automatically assume it's valuable.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that doesn't get talked about a lot. Is that they see an expensive price on the book. Oh,
And
that book's $800. Oh man, it must. If I pay $800 for it, that means I can get $8,000 for it. No, you're gonna get 2 beans and a moon pie and a hot dog.
Bean pie, my brother.
I mean, a lot
Wink
of
it, dink it, dog.
yeah. I mean, you look and trying to have a little problem here. Are y'all seeing the chats? The chats having a little trouble trying to pull up all the chats on here. But Larry's Larry's in the comment section. I can't see it on my end. There we go. It's just a little buffering. But yeah, Larry, $95. It was some other books over there. I mean, the guy. I mean, you got to use common sense and use patience. And worst case, go ahead.
That X-Force 2, that was in the dollar bins in the 90s, man.
That's a dollar bin stable. You got certain books that I call dollar bin stable.
I saw that book multiple times when I was a teenager, and even in the 2000s, that was a dollar bin book.
You got books.
That book is wallpaper in certain people's homes.
That book is used to ship books to certain folks.
Right, that's crazy.
Yeah, man.
You got books like that. That's a dollar staple. You got Venom. Not Least Protector starting at 15, 20, 20. I'm starting to see that at 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. And I'm like, this is a book that, mass printed. You got X-Men #1. It's a dollar bin special. Now you finally starting to see Omega Red starting to kind of tick up a little bit. That was a book that for years sat in dollar bin.
You brought up Key Collector earlier, the Key Collector app. It's a good thing, but it's also a bad thing because they be making books out that were in dollar bins all the time. All of a sudden, Key Collector digs out hey, this is like a key issue and stuff. It's on Comic Time show, and then next thing you know, people are looking for it and driving up the price of the book when this shouldn't even be driven up. I remember when this whole pandemic started and they brought up the first appearance of Corona, and people was like, "What? The Corona?"
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? People in this motherfucker say first appearance of Corona, hot issue. I'm like, oh my god, man.
Yeah. And then it went up like $20.
Yeah, there's some books that don't need to be driven up because of that, man.
Yeah.
And the crazy part about Corona, if you look up her power set, it ain't got nothing to do with a virus. I just think it had something to do with a virus, but her powers were heat related. So she was just named Corona by name, but all of a sudden, just because her name was Corona, people specking on that. I'm like, man, I don't get this, man. This is crazy.
Kev is correct. And this is something you know,
Yeah, see, Barbarian says it right there, man.
yeah. I mean, it's you look now, and it's like it's a collector because everybody knows I'm a collector. I'm a long term collector. Is that like when you're dealing with second and third prints, like I can't keep up with it. I can physically not keep up with how many, these second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth. So what I have to do when I collect is I have to make a determination on one, how good, how I take things into account, like how good is the cover look? Is this a cover that would attract people buying? Is this something that's out of the ordinary? Those old second prints in the mid 90s, some of those are actually rare. This new stuff, oh, we're gonna come out with second print, third print, fourth print, fifth print. I think Thor is on what, seventh print, eighth print. The damn storyline is over with, but they still coming out with prints. We got this print, that print, this print, leopard print.
And these ain't even like months down the line where they come out and say, no, this is like 2 weeks after the first print came out.
What I told y'all, what the hell I raised about about a month ago about this damn Robin King. I mean, the book wasn't even out a week, and we were already talking about second print. Second print of a book that was already Spawn 309. A print it was a second print already before the book was even on the shelf. This is I heard a guy comment this on one of the podcasts, and he brought up a great point. He said, what's going to start happening? He said, just start watching. Those first print books are going to start being lesser printed. The second, third, and fourth, and fifth print books are going to be mass printed. Then everybody's first print, we're going to be right back at square one again. And that's exactly what happened in the 90s. It was the variant, and it circled around. It came right on back to the way it was. Now you got all these variants. I think Eternals has 80 variants.
Something like that.
Yeah, 80 variants, Al. 80 variants.
For the number one.
Now, who's buying? First off, let's just be real. Let's just call it like it is. Larry's going to laugh when I say this, but who's checking for Eternals number one like that? Who on this panel is checking for Eternals number one like that?
I don't even care about the movie.
I mean, who's checking for that? So who's going to go out and buy that 1 of 100 of Eternal number one that's coming out in the next few weeks? I mean, it would have to be the Jesus Christ edition.
They lost me on the movie with Angelina Jolie.
Right.
The ghost of Jack Kirby 1 in 1,000. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it's ridiculous, man. That that this is completely out of hand. It's completely gotten out of hand. The shark has been jumped and rolled over. I mean, when you see these prices of these second prints, and you see, this is another thing, because at the store we were at, Al brought this up. We were talking this week, and at Dave's store, if you're patient, he has a section you can go buy these variants, pretty much almost at cover price, half off, and these are variants that were hot at one time. They're sitting on the shelf. So a lot of times you have to be patient with these variants, unless you know it's a low print run variant, unless you know for a fact that it's a low print run variant, or you can
even
go ahead.
But even with that, Dave had buy one get one free variants.
Yeah,
like I know.
All throughout
I looked through at least 10 of them, 10 loan boxes, and I know that wasn't even a fifth of what he had. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, and he had some good stuff in there too.
I peeped only short-term speculators buying all 80 variants to get left holding the bag. Yeah, I mean, I have no pity for these guys. I'm in some groups with some of these guys. I have no pity when they're sitting there whining about, oh man, you thought you were gonna make this big come up. No, bro, it don't work like that, man. Especially on a modern book, man. I mean, that is a gamble. Now, Chad, I know Chad gonna bust me when I tell this story, because Chad told me the story last week about how he had an opportunity to get that Walt Disney World variant and passed up on it. Now, and I could actually understand why, because he's looking at it the way we did. There's sometimes you just like, you know what? I 1 of 100. Y'all remember when that Venom came out? That I think it was McFarlane. That McFarlane 1 in 1,000. like a year ago, a year or two ago, on Venom 1. That came out and it was $1,000 right out the gate. And I was just like, no, not doing it. Not happening. You
That
know,
was the pay for Spawn the movie.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. Like, no, not doing it. And so what happens is you get things where these books people buy them and then they're pissed off because they can't get rid of them. And I'm like, wait, bro, you paid $1,000 for it. Hey, man, just go ahead and get it slapped. Just let it sit up on your shelf, man. But I'm not doing that. There's no way I can keep up with that trend. This is
Oh,
why a lot of times I just wait, man, for these books to come down, unless it's like a Dell Auto that I really want to get for myself, and then that or something that's a really cool cover. But some of these astronomical prices are outrageous. I see somebody in the comment section say they're talking about newsstand variants. Yeah, newsstand variants are another one. You know, I've seen books that are over. I've seen books that should be really be $1, but because it's a newsstand edition of it, oh, this is $12. Why is this a 12? Oh, it's a newsstand edition. I mean, oh, okay. It's still $1. It's still $1 book. You know, this, you know, when buying this stuff, man, you have to be patient. Otherwise, you will go broke. This is a hobby where you cannot be, jump at the first thing you see. Otherwise, you will go broke. I have watched Larry pick up books, and Larry say, "Matt, I'm not buying this." Turn around, we'll go to like 2 or 3 stores. Third store we get to, he sees the book for like $2. $2.
That happens. That happens a lot.
yep.
Yeah, it happens all the time. There's a guy down in Statesboro, Georgia, right now. I call him the $5 master because this man has so many top dollar $5 books sitting in the case. He did what make it so bad. He got another section of dollar books with high dollar books sitting in there. I mean, I showed y'all the exports last year. I think a book goes for like 175 on eBay. Paid $1 for it. Sitting over the dollar man. I mean, it takes time. Chris, you want to add anything here, brother?
Yeah, like I was just looking up the Eternals book, and like looking at the list of the covers, like it's not 80, thankfully. Good Lord, it's nearly 40. But I'm looking at the list of the artists who are doing covers, and tops I see maybe 4 that I might, because Alex Ross is doing one. Boss
Is
Logic,
is
Alex
Mo
Ross is
Larry,
doing one cover.
is Mo Larry and Curly doing one?
I'll enough know. But I was laughing at what Al said because there is a hidden gem Jack Kirby cover, variant cover. Um, J. Scott Campbell got 2. He got a Virgin variant and a regular variant.
You know what they're
Like,
gonna do with that Jack Kirby? They're gonna go back and they going in the vault
yep,
and in any of his old unused Eternal stuff,
they're gonna make it a cover.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and like I said, there's maybe 4 covers I want because they're artists that I actually follow that I probably actually want to get their covers of. But I really don't think anybody's gonna go out and get. You're doing 39. It's so weird. They're doing like 39 covers, and then they're like, here's a blank variant in case you want to go out and get somebody to draw you one, which is just like ridiculous. With 40 different variant covers with so many different artists doing a cover, who are you gonna go out there and get to draw you a blank cover? Like, why spend the money to get a blank cover done for you when there's so many versions of this cover done by so many different artists? That's a personal gain, and it's like personally when we're talking about having the patience and going through the hunt and everything, that's something you do. Then don't worry about the other 40 covers. Get you the blank one. Go to a con when they start back up again in like 2022 or whatever, if we're lucky, and
Shot
get you
2022.
and get you somebody to draw you that cover that you want with the character you want on it, and get you the cover that you really want, and then spend the money on that cover.
It'll be dope if you got a blank cover and had multiple artists draw on the same cover, but that's a costly ass blank cover.
Man,
Good God, that man.
Man, I buy that. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'll go ahead.
I said I buy the blank Eternals variant and get somebody to put Booster Gold on it or something.
man,
Oh man.
woo,
Oh
woo.
man. But it's like I was joking with Matt on the way home where I was serious to a certain degree, but I was like, hell, I'll buy a blank cover of any Batman book and pay Jim Lee to draw on it just because I love Jim Lee. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But not every single artist to be on one book. Now, when you got 40 to pick from, now,
Right.
nah,
I
bruh.
mean, you know, Kung Fu says it right here. You know, I buy blanks out of Dollar Bin. Like Dollar Bin books coming out of the gate, man. You can just wait. I mean, Dave had a whole box. Did you see that today?
Nothing
Ed?
but blanks. Yeah,
Blanks.
Yeah.
he had 3 boxes.
Yeah, full of blanks.
Yeah,
Buy one, get one.
yeah,
There
Bought
you
them
go.
up. I'd have bought them
Yeah,
up. Just got people to do them.
yeah,
yeah.
and just send them off.
I
Yep.
You
was
know,
if I could have made it to that if I could have made it to the Warner Robins comic convention with y'all when Afua Richardson was there, I was gonna get her to see if she would draw Batman on my All Star Batman blank cover. So, but that
yeah,
didn't work out.
yeah. Patience, man. Like you can find books that are like trending really high. You can go to a con, and sometimes you can find those prices, those books at cons. Like Sean said, a lot of these guys you can find. Like I found that Edge of Spider Verse too. I think it was 60, 65 or 75 or whatever. And the guy was like, I asked him, well, how much is it? He was like 75. And I looked at it, it was great condition. This was like 2 years ago. And then the guy was like, yeah, man, this guy over here said it's too much, man. I thought it was a really good price. I looked at him and said, I do too, so I'll take it. Just put it right over here in the stack. and go about my business, man. Like you can find good books at good prices before they take off.
I want to drop a hip hop lyric line that stuck with me from the Jedi Mind Tricks first album, and it was the line, "Patience is a virtue, and knowledge is of commercial." And that's what it's all about when it comes to the game of patience. You know, it's virtue that you go out there and you take your time, you check the deals, check the dollar bins, you search everywhere, and you're gonna get one. It's gonna come to you at the right price, the right time, and that's
Yep.
what matters most.
Yep. If you're just starting out, man, please, anybody who's watching this tonight, man, is just starting out, please don't get suckered into just
And
feeling like you have to.
and I can't stand people paying so much money for that Amazing Spider-Man issue from the '90s that had the Carnage and Silver Surfer, where you see Cosmic Surfer, the Carnage Surfer.
Oh man,
I got that off the rack, and those stories wasn't that good, but people are paying like $70 to $100 for that, and I'm like, bro, that shit ain't that good.
it's for the cover, man. That's for the cover. Al, you want to add anything here before we wrap it up? X, you got anything you want to say there? Chris, anything?
Well, I say one
Yeah.
little thing, just on the virtue, like talking on patience. Pretty much out of all of us here right now, I would say I'm probably like, not even including what I got today, but I am the epitome of a patience comic collector because of, especially now, my work schedule. When I go to work, they close. When I get off work, they close. It's hard for me to get my books, you know what I'm saying? But it's been several times, and Matt can attest to this. He'll hand me a book. I'll keep it. I'll look at it, and I'll be like, I'm gonna wait, and end up getting that book. It's just so happened one of the books that he did that a while ago, I got today. You know what I'm saying? He didn't remember that he did it, but it happened today, and I had to get it. Like it's crazy.
Yep.
What was that?
Before we get to that, want to put a couple of comments, man. You know, what was it? I just saw. Yeah, fear of missing out is a dangerous beast. That's one that'll do you in. And hit up your half price books, good deals there. I'm also say if you can find a second in Charles that's actually reasonably priced, or find a good one, you can actually get a lot of good stuff out of second in Charles. These days is a little tougher because they got hip to the game. They were getting fleeced, and folks, you know.
What?
Yeah, people they started figuring out that, hey man, we can go down there and get books for little or nothing, and they started overpricing their books. So you have to be very, very patient when you go to stores like that. Flea markets, tried and true flea markets. If you got any active ones around where you at, Peachtree Peddlers, I'll tell you, we found first appearance at Gambit, $2.20. I find NYX number 2 for $1.
$1.
You know, $1. So I mean, you hit up these flea markets, Xavier tell you the day we were riding down the road, and I almost U-turned because I saw your sale close to U-turning
Twice,
twice.
twice.
And I said, no, we got to go ahead and head on home because we got to do the show. Go ahead, Al.
One thing too, we've talked about on the show that a lot of people they discount as well, but there are still mom and pop stores everywhere. In spite of what's going on, I've talked the last episode of Off the Rack that I did. I briefly talked about a mom and pop store that was in Columbus, Georgia, and I mean, I it's if time travel was real, I would take y'all to this store because the way it was set up was so unreal and it was amazing. I mean, as far as I'm not gonna go into any details, but there were some deals in that store to be had. Pretty much, I'm pretty sure anybody in this panel or anybody in the chat that's here now in the chat would have found something that they needed or they wanted, and they would have found something of worth. I saw this with my own eyes. The Spider-Man 300, the McFarlane issue. The man sold it for $2. And the guy that sold it to him, that bought it from him, he told him, he said, man, this book is worth more than that. The guy that owned, who's an older white guy, he said, I just want to get rid of it. And the guy looked at me and I looked at the guy and I'm trying to send him a telepathic message like, man, if you don't buy that book,
I'm gonna buy it.
Hell yeah. I'd be like, as soon as he say that, I'm like,
that.
say no more.
But
that while he sitting there trying to talk, I'm sliding up. I'm literally sliding my money to the seller. Here you go.
Here you go.
While he's sitting here talking, I want it. I'm not debating with you.
He bought it. It was just. But see, a lot of people will tell you that type of atmosphere and environment doesn't exist. But I'm here to tell you what does, because I've seen it with my own eyes.
Yeah, if you travel enough, man, and this is the thing, get off your ass. Get off your ass and go to stores. Take a couple of weekends out and hit the road, man. Go to a few stores, especially if they're open in your area. Go to some stores and drive around, man. There's a cat I follow on YouTube. He all the time. He said, "You know why I get these deals?" He said, "Because I drive 4 and 5 hours to get them. From store to store to store to store. It takes time. Anything that you're gonna work at is gonna require time and effort. But if you just want to go to your one LCS every day and you hope that he gets something in there, all time."
Well, one thing a lot of people don't realize, like when you go to flea markets, yard sales, stuff like that, you can get a book for cheap because, like, these people are selling collections that are not theirs. Okay, like if they had a loved one that passed away, having those books in their home brings back so many memories that are painful memories, so to speak, because they don't have that loved one anymore. They don't care how much they're selling it for. They just want to get that out so that they can technically move on in life. You know what I mean? Like you get a $300 book, they don't care that it's $300 book because they'll never get that loved one back. That's why they're just trying to get rid of it. So, I mean, this stuff happens, unfortunately, but hey, you gotta jump on it. I'll cry with you, but I'm buying this book from you for $1. You know what I'm saying?
Hey man, my boy, actually, I'm getting this AS-15 for $1, and I'm gonna cry with you, man. I'm gonna hold you while I buy it.
I'll give you the Kleenex and everything.
Yep, and cut on some Kurt Franklin. We're gonna worship together.
No, we're gonna do Yolanda for that.
All right. With that, y'all, we're gonna go ahead and move into our hall portion of the show. Sean, would you like to go first tonight, my friend?
Sure. These are books that I got from my shop last week when they had their 9th anniversary sale for being in business for 9 years. I have Iron Man 110, nice Bronze Age, Iron Man 126. And then this one, I saw this and I immediately grabbed it because I know how important it was, and that's Iron Man issue 170, the reveal of James Rhodes as Iron Man.
That was after he What was it? What something in a bottle?
Yeah, this was well after that.
Demon in a
Demon in
bottle.
the
Yeah.
Bottle.
Okay.
I got Spider-Man 340. I posted this already, but to add to my Spider-Man collection, I picked up the Question because I was always curious about this series by Denny O'Neil and art by Dennis Cohen. So I had bought two of these for $1. And this cover by Cohen and Sinkovich is sick right here.
Hey, man, if you come across a 17, let me know. I can't find one to save my life, bro.
All right. I showed this earlier, Legends of the Dark Knight. No, most of these books I got for $1, man. And this is a modern series. Like it was only like a few years ago where it came out, but I want to give it a try. And that's Britannia by Valiant.
Mm.
And if you see the tagline, "We who are about to die," if y'all ever read Strike Force Mortuary from the 80s, I did a couple of videos on that earlier on my YouTube, and I loved that series so much. So I definitely want to give this a read. On that. This is the 4th issue. I got it all for $1. And then I got the recent Savage Avengers issue 4 and issue 5 all for $1. So it's like
I was reading. You read my mind. I was like, they dollar bin staples right there. They go dollar bin books.
Exactly. And it was like what, last year or early this year they came out, and they already in dollar bins. Hellboy, some Mike Mignola.
I love that cover right there.
Yeah.
I love that cover. It's so simple but dope.
Yeah, I always loved Mike Mignola as an artist, man. He's great. Some X-Men. What happened?
I was trying to get you set up here. Let me get this thing up. Fumbling around over here. That's my fault. You go back. I was trying to put everybody on the side. I hadn't quite worked it out
Stop
yet.
pressing buttons.
X-Men 154. I had posted this earlier, but this classic Thor becoming the Frog.
Yeah, that was on your IG feed.
Yeah, I posted that. And of course, him versus Celestial. And now I picked this series up because I want to do a show. I'm going to actually be a guest on Fresh Princess show talking about it, and that's Genius from Image Top Cow.
Look who hold that back up right quick. Al, look who one of the artists at the bottom hand, right hand of the screen.
Afu Richardson.
Yeah.
Oh.
And she even commented on the post that I did on Friday saying, she might check out the stream.
That's dope.
Got the first 5 issues of that. Just great covers.
That's a nice cover.
I like this one the most. This is one that Fresh Princess posted a lot. Always love those chess references. And here's issue 5. And then I have a bunch. It's a Spider-Man issue.
He got that Matt Odom haul today.
Right?
Hey man, I've watched the show long enough. I've seen that Matt Odom hauls where he just bringing out bangers. This is another one I got for $1. King Thor. Just shows you that you see these on the racks last year, and then I'm like, I'll wait, and then you get it for $1. Silver Surfer Black. It's $10 price, but I got 20% off of it. It's the sweet Ron Lim cover with Galactus. And then I have a bunch of Conan books, all for $1.
Hey man, you can't beat classic Conan for $1.
Yeah, and this sweet Sinkovich cover. Dude tall with a big sword, and he's still gonna lose to Conan. and it's just nothing better than classic Conan, especially when John Buscema does the artwork, and him and Ernie Chan. I love their art on the Conan books.
Hey, does he say Crom in every episode? I mean, every issue?
Pretty much. Pretty
Every
much.
other sentence.
Crime is like the main thing. King Conan 15. I saw a lot of these. I was like, yeah, I'm snatching up all the King Conans because
Somebody gonna be mad as hell when they're going out to buy some King Conan. Like, man,
Man,
what savage took all of the King Conans?
Pun intended. What savage?
yeah. Then they had like three Dark Horse Conan the Slayers. So yeah, I was snatching up Marvel Conan and Dark Horse Conan. And the covers are just amazing, and
Yeah, that's a tight cover right there, man.
I mean, you just can't go wrong with these covers. That's all I have, man.
Cool. Chris, you got anything over there, brother?
no, this week was spent doing art and getting ready for my daughter's birthday, so I did not make it out.
Al, what you got over there, brother?
I got Buckwheat versus Satan #1.
I like that shirt you got on, sir.
Thank you, sir. It's another Burlington original. Burlington. They're more than just coats. Yeah, I got some stuff, man. I did a haul video, which is gonna go up eventually, but I'm gonna show some of these off. I got a pretty good bit of stuff, even though I couldn't get up to Origin Story. I'm getting all my timeless variants from them rather. But I got Generation X 67 and 68. That actually completes that run. So I have the full run of Generation X Volume 1 from 1 to 100. And I got these earlier from Primetime. Firestorm, The Nuclear Man 66 and 100. And that is the full run for that. So I got that run completed today. So I got 2 runs completed. And Chris, I'm sorry, I'm about to, rag on your boy for a second. Superman 310, he getting dealt with on the cover. Now
It happens.
It happens quite often for Superman. I was
gonna say it happened a lot on the cover.
That joke get beat up more than that joke get beat up. I can't even think of somebody that get beat up more than Superman on the cover of a comic book, man. But
they like he's Superman, but we gotta at least make him look vulnerable sometimes, man.
But the cool part of this came out the dollar bin, and I actually had a spider sense about this book. And come to find out, it's actually the first appearance of the second Metallo. This dude right here.
Oh.
Yeah, it was in the dollar bin book. Now I don't know if this no book that's gonna actually this is an $8,000 book, but hey, I picked it up just because of that. Batman 10/21/7, or Action Comics Detective Comic 10/27. This is the Adam Hughes variant. Storm, John Size X-Men, Storm #1, Jan Bartel variant. I got the other 2 on my pull list up at Origin Story.
Love her work.
Yeah, that's
man. I got that Marvel Comics 1000 she did, man. That was dope. I got that from Origin. Immortal Hulk 0.
The baptism by faith.
Yeah, deliverance or something. We only find them when they're dead. #1. I heard this was good. This is by the same writer of Immortal Hulk, Al Ewing. X-Men 12. This is supposed to be like a first appearance of somebody here. I don't know who, because I gotta catch up on this. I'm sure Larry got it if he's still in the chat.
Yeah, it was mentioned earlier when you showed it.
Yeah, he sure did. Trinity Crisis. It's part of the Dark Metal. Man, I love the series, man.
It's good.
I'm really digging it. eBay find John Size X-Men #2. I got this for $5.50. Pay about $8-9 for it with shipping.
Hell, I'm gonna hop in here right quick. Beauty Comic says, "What's up, folks? I just found the channel. Really enjoy the show. I would love to hear y'all's opinion on spec on milestone books and all the hype on black characters like Riri, Miles, and Shuri. Beauty, welcome to the hood. We're here, but we actually did a show on that. Couple we did Sean, myself, and Chris. It's actually the video was about 2 weeks ago, y'all.
About 2 weeks ago now. Yeah.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago. We talked about that. We'll probably be revisiting that again soon. But we definitely got some stuff up, and we actually got an older show. If you go back in our archives, Al, you want to say what about 3 or 4 years ago? We had a whole complete show dedicated to superheroes of color, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll make sure you get a chance to check it out. But I can tell you this. We'll tell you this. Those static issues are hard to find. Those
no surprise.
Those high end ones are hard to find, man. If you can find those, then yeah, you really doing something. So.
And if you ever see them in back issues, grab them.
Yeah, no matter what. I got about 5 hardwares. I got 6. I got my 6 icons. I got a whole bunch of those, man.
At the end of the day, it's starting with static. It's starting with static, but at the end of the day, just like they said, hardware, icon, blood syndicate, zombie, shadow cabinet. If you can find any of that milestone stuff, grab it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you another one too. A lot of people are sleeping on the 3rd volume of Firestorm. When Firestorm became Jason Rush.
Yep.
That's another one that people are gonna be sleeping on because there's gonna be a surgence of black characters. Of course, you always gonna have your Black Panther. You always gonna have your Black Lightning. You always gonna have your Storm. You want Luke Cage. A lot of those particular books, of course, kind of like, especially with Storm, we ain't gonna talk about John Size X-Men. But yeah, if you find any of those books, Static in particular, because for that first run through Milestone, the Static series was a very, very short print run book, especially going towards the end of the book, like the last few issues. The print run on that, I want to say maybe it was less than maybe 10,000 or less or something like that. Sean and Chris can correct me, but it's some of the latter issues of Static are actually more expensive than some of the earlier issues because of the print run. So yeah, if you see any of them in your dollar bin, 50-cent bin, because some of them are still there. They probably pulled out all the number ones because I've seen number ones on eBay go for about $60, $70, which to me is ridiculous. But somebody trying to make some money. But I got 3 books.
Are you serious?
Go on eBay and look. I mean, it's down. I got unless you got the Cambodian version, so I'm just saying it's going on eBay for about $50, $60 plus. Serious business.
Wow.
I got 2 copies, so I'm good. All right. Now the last few I'm gonna have to give shout out to Matt Odom. Matt Odom is a good guy. He's a good cat.
He's a good cat.
Shots fired.
Shot
Good
fired.
cat.
He's gonna get gatted. I ain't saying that. That's what I'm trying to say, y'all. He's a good cat. He's a great guy. I've known Matt for a long time. Ever since I worked at the arcade, he used to come in the arcade to see his cousin, which was many moons ago. But anyway, that's that same arcade I was telling you about the other last night, Sean, when I told you I bought that Beats Rhymes of Life and then ended up giving it to somebody after I listened to it. But anyway, he got these 3 books for me. He actually LK'd me this first book. This was on a spec video I did, and if you look at our content, there's a video that I did about undervalued or underrated X-Men books. This particular book is King Size Annual Marvel Team Up 1. And the significance about this book, if you want to see, he paid $10 for it, right? This book is the first appearance or the first team up of Spider-Man and the new X-Men book after John Size X-Men. I just froze for a second. So if you are into just getting keys, this is an affordable key. Like I said, this is the first appearance of Spider-Man teaming up with the new team. So check that one out. A lot of people sleep on this comic book. Justice League 36. This is one of the books that Matt got. I think you got that team up from Dave's too, didn't you, Matt?
Yep.
So the last 3 books he got from Dave's. All right, Justice League 36. I saw this on the video he did when he joined Sean's chat last week, or Sean's show, and he just pulled this out. And I said, man, I like this. I have the series of this. Of course, it's Shazam and Cyborg playing a video game, and Shazam getting mollywopped. Last one is a book that he can tell you, or most everybody can tell you, that I've been looking for a while, and I've been pining over this book. And truth be told, I've been lusting over this book too, because this book is so sexy to me. Thank you, Matt, for getting this for me. I'm gonna get it graded. I don't know if I'm gonna take it up to prime time tomorrow to get it slabbed. Black Panther 18, the Michael Turner variant.
So pretty.
Man, I'm telling you, boy, doggone storm, but good gracious of life.
That's a beautiful cover, man. I just love the you got storm, you got that lightning bolt and the clouds. It just all comes together, man.
All come together, man. So yeah, I'm gonna most definitely get that one slab.
X.
Hello. All right, so I'm gonna start off not comic related, but as y'all see behind me, I collect pops. But I picked up my pre-order for the Kratos.
Boy.
I'm actually surprised. I didn't know that this was a glow-in-the-dark pop, so I'm pretty excited about that.
Hey, turn the lights off. No.
I gotta. I might post a picture of the glow on IG.
Boy.
But got a handful of comics. This particular one, somehow, some way, I did not have this in my collection, so I saw that, grabbed it today for $3. I had the one shot, then I went straight to number 2 for some strange reason. I also picked this up at Dave's for $3. The
Nice.
B cover. But this is what Matt was talking about earlier. So everybody knows I love Batman. Hush is my favorite storyline from Batman. So I was able to complete my run today. Now, this one is my 3rd copy of this particular cover right here. I also have the B cover. But I picked up 609. All right. And picked up 610. Trying to make sure no glare hits it. 611. Got 612. Cover A. Also got 612 cover B. Picked up 613. 614.
There go the first appearance of Punchline.
I was thinking the same thing, man. I was thinking the same thing.
Also got 617 right here. Got 618. And last but not least, got 619 variant that I didn't have. Now, cool thing about this, I got all 11 of those issues at Dave's for $60.
Not bad.
One of those books alone, like that 612, you can go on eBay right now and see it going for $50. You know what I'm saying? The cover A, you see that going easily for $20. So if I were to try to flip these, I think I struck gold on that one. But I'm pretty excited to have that particular story completed now, being that I never had it for some strange and odd reason.
It's always good to get a lot of comics for $60, knowing that one particular book in that lot costs just as much or is more than the lot price that you got it for.
Yep.
Yep.
So it's definitely a steal.
And there's several books in here that are over $20. Now it's a couple fives in there. You know, it's gonna be like that in every run. But good God, to have that for 60, yeah, I put some other books that I had in my hand back. Like when Matt handed it to me, I'm surprised I didn't drop the other books that I had in my hand. Cause I was like I put a Usagi Yojimbo #1 down. I mean, I can go back and get it. You know what I'm saying? But I like Usagi Yojimbo, but he doesn't mean to me what Batman does. You know what I'm saying? So I think out of all of these, I left 3 books up there, and they were ones that I already had dupes of anyway. So, but yeah, all that for 60.
I'll tell you a similar story. There was a guy that I brought a lot of Harley Quinn books from. He had the first issue of Gotham City Sirens, and I think one other issue of that run, and then like from issue 0 to 7 of the New 52 Harley Quinn run, and he sold that lot for $60. Now, if you know Gotham City Sirens issue #1, that book goes for over 60. You know, and a lot of those Gotham City Sirens issues, be like $20 plus, $30. Right. So I'm looking at it like for $60, man. Gotham City Sirens issue #1 is like 60 plus already. Shit, that's a steal if I'm getting all those Harley Quinn.
Yep.
And the funny thing about it is I already had a Gotham City Sirens 1, so I just jumped on the opportunity to get another one.
Yeah.
Can't beat it.
Yeah.
That's it, X. You done over on your side?
Yeah, that was it for me.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we'll come to me.
Before you jump in, Matt,
okay.
I did have one thing before I have to bounce out to get my little one in bed. So back when 3 Jokers came out and everybody was upset about the card coming out and how nobody got their card and all the other stuff. So
I still ain't got mine.
$9.99. You get one in Macon. You come down here and get you one for $9.99.
Get one, right. So I collect collector boxes. I collect the World Finance collector boxes, the DC collector box. Comes with all kinds of really cool memorabilia. And I just got around to opening a box, the Versus box that I got, Lord, probably back in like June or July, somewhere along in there. So I finally opened the box, and it's a Versus box. And this is the T-shirt that was in the box.
Wow.
So they put it on a T-shirt, which is a limited T-shirt, and it's actually reversible. It's a limited T-shirt, so the only people that got the shirt are the people that ordered the box. And I was just like, so they put it on a T-shirt first.
They got the 1 in 25 variant.
Yeah.
So then that's the inside. Yeah.
Wow.
They threw it on a shirt, and it went into the collector's box way before it even went on to be a card that you could pick up when you bought 3 Jokers, or hopefully bought 3 Jokers and got it when you got it from your comic shop. Yeah. I was thoroughly surprised, and I was just like, I know people who still waiting on their card, and I got a T-shirt.
Yeah, I'm not getting that card. I've accepted that.
I feel for you, X.
My fate is sealed.
But you gentlemen have a good night. I got to bounce out.
All right, brother.
All right, you too, brother.
All right,
Catch up with you guys later.
All right.
All right, so we'll start with me. We'll end with me, rather. I've got one that I showed last night with Al and the guys. It was a classic example of, being patient sometimes and just digging through boxes and you find stuff at a good deal. So we've got Black Panther. That's what I paid for it. $15. Larry, I want to tell Larry, thank you for leaving it in the box, because Larry actually saw it, but actually left it in the box. So bless you. I got the 4th pack of comics from Walmart. Wonder Woman 755 was in there. Thank you, Shannon, for putting me on that. I didn't know that our Walmart locally had started getting them. So if for those, X or whatever, y'all want to go to Walmart, they got the 4 packs over there. I saw Larry buy this from Days about a year ago, and I actually saw this on eBay for $10. So I was like, you know what? I'll pick it up. It tends to be a little bit of a pricey issue, but so Black Panther #23.
Bro, that book is expensive, and it's just because it's their first meetup, and the Deadpool issue that it crosses over with is just as expensive.
Yeah. Also in that pack, I ended up getting Hell Arisen 3. That was in the 4-pack. I picked up this. I'm gonna probably start reading this probably Monday, but I heard this is pretty good. This is a Stillwater #1. Chip Zdarsky is at the helm of that, so I know it should be pretty
Sound
good.
like a beer.
Does.
Sound like a pale ale beer.
Want to give Shannon another shout out. Justice League 53 features there's a new character. The Omega Knight is on the last panel of this. A lot of people don't know that. That one kind of going under the radar. Ended up picking up the second print variant of Graham Hunt, Amazing Spider-Man 637. Got that. Picked up Amazing Spider-Man 550. I've been trying to go through the whole entire brand new day, trying to get at a good price. I ended up getting some old school J. Scott Campbell. It's Amazing Spider-Man 492. Picked up another. I think it's the first appearance of Mr. Negative. Amazing Spider-Man 565. Amazing Fantasy #2. More Amazing Spider-Man 546. Showed this last night. And Sean, you were correct. This was a variant. This is a hard to find variant of Batman Mask of the Phantasm.
That's a great cover, man.
Yeah, I like that. I like this one way better. I like the original.
Yeah, man. Like that, you stumbled on something right there.
Yeah, I was helping Shannon look for a book, and I actually ran across it. Betty and Veronica. Got shout out to Xavier for finding these for me today while we were out. I love Darwin Cook's art as well, and so I've been trying to collect these Darwin Cook variants. And so that one, and we got the Teen Titans rocking it out. We've got the Harley Quinn #1 Valentine's Day special, $3. We got the Harley Quinn Little Black book #1. Ended up getting this for $3. He actually let me get this for $3. We got Electra 21. I call this the Cardi B variant, the Cardi B cover. 21. Electra 21. Got this for $3.
The WAP variant.
All right, and so I've got.
He got some WAP.
So we got Knights #1. I don't know if I remember that from the
Oh man,
yeah,
I remember that game.
I didn't even know they had a comic book, man.
Yeah, me neither.
got that for $3. And then
that was the Sega Saturn.
Yeah.
And here comes the main reason why I went out today. We've got Sonic the Hedgehog #51. I got that for $3. Sonic the Hedgehog 226. Got that for $3.
226. Hold up.
Damn.
Sonic went that long?
Yeah, it went forever on Archie.
Ain't he still going?
IDW.
Sonic 160. We've got Sonic 150. We've got Sonic 146. First cover appearance of Shadow. We've got Sonic 126. And for those who don't know, man, Sonic Hedgehog, these issues are hard to
super hard.
buy. I got 2 copies of 126.
They right there with Ninja Turtles Archie, especially the later part of the run. Hard to find.
Yep. More Sonic. We got 109.
Damn, we had a lot of Sonic.
Hey, if you don't even know.
Sonic 102.
I never see Sonic in back issue bins down here, man.
Yo, hey.
Mega Man #1.
He spent a good 45 minutes over there. As soon as we walked in.
Sonic 161. Sonic 114.
Hey, all you need to do now is have Green Hill Zone playing in the background while you show these
Yeah.
comics.
Sonic 99.
I think he got that Mega Man by mistake.
No, I got that on purpose. I got that on purpose. Sonic and Knuckles and Madness. All right, and that is it for Sonic. And so then we roll over to more Amazing Spider-Man 637, the Grim Hunt.
Spider-Man looked straight up defeated.
Yeah.
Oh, he was on his last leg in that one.
Take a look at what these going for on eBay. Amazing Spider-Man 512, first appearance of the Grey Goblin.
He ain't last long, did he?
No, he was like in and out. He got dealt with pretty quick.
The MCU villain.
Picked up a, I think it was a $3, $3.74. I was like $3.74.
I love that issue because of the sound effects they've used in that. I got 2 copies of that, man.
Mark back.
Yeah.
Got some Star Wars Dark Times. Dark Time, baby, Dark Time. Number 3. We got Star Wars The Knight Errant, number 1. Star Wars Knight Errant, number 2. Carol Hart joins the Sith. So you already know. Star Wars Invasion, number 1. Spider-Man is back. We got Adventures of Spider-Man, number 1. We got Spider-Man One Shot. We got Spider-Man. That's number 2 in that. Well, number 2 in that series. Excuse me. I thought it was One Shot. Like that. Main thing stuck out to me was Anti-Venom Returns. I said, "Oh, me grab that." Yeah. Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man 24. Mary Jane variant.
Oh my God! The one more fucking day.
Yep.
Oh man. That took me out of comics for a while. That led to my hiatus, man.
Cone Conspiracy, Del Otto, number 1. Can't go wrong with Brother Dale. Got Marvel Knights, number 1, Spider-Man, number 1.
And Dodson covers.
Got Spectacular Spider-Man 257. I forgot what happens in this issue. There's something goes on there, but I can't quite remember what it is.
During that, when Identity Crisis, we had to participate as different characters, not Spider-Man.
I thought that was the one where he meet up with Dolomite.
Ultimate Spider-Man number 7. Paid $3 for that. We've got a little bit Betty and Veronica with Elmo.
Elmo. Oh, yeah, he hiding the cut.
Yeah.
Damn,
Elmo.
man, he in prime position right there, man.
He ain't lying.
Yeah.
He think he's slick.
Yeah, Elmo boy, he's being slick over there. And then we got Archie 626 with Michael Strahan.
Oh, Young Giants, baby.
Yeah, he got that. We've got Pinky in the Brain, number 1.
Pinky in the Brain.
With the boo.
With the boobs. Super Crooks, number 1, second print variant. There we go. That. In here as well. Got some more Lecture 12.
God, those Greg Horn covers, man.
Yeah, great Horn, man. Love his work. And then on the way home today, we had to avoid a traffic backup, so it ended up taking us through Griffin, Georgia. So I actually took a stop by Bungee's Comics. And would you believe Black Panther number 3, second appearance, assured, $4.50. Black Panther number 13, $3.50. These are all keys, by the way. I just can't remember right offhand which is which. Dark Reign, Black Panther number 3, $7. Nice. Black Panther number 4, $7. Mace Windu number 5, $4.50.
Mace Window.
Another Mace window, $4.50. Star Wars Tales, the variant. Apparently, this is extremely hard to find with Billy D.
Oh, I got that one.
Yeah,
I got that for $1, bro.
Yeah.
Believe that. I got that for
that's a
$1.
win.
He got a variant with him holding a can of Colt 45 with a lightsaber in his other hand.
Spider Force #1. I repicked this up again. I got this again. Got that she.
Oh, that's beautiful
cover. We've got Marvel Knight Spider-Man 13. This is a key.
That Wolverine.
Yep.
He looks sad.
We've got Spectacular Spider-Girl #1. $4.50.
God, I don't even remember that run.
Mace Windu. Here's the Mace Windu cover for $4.50. That's it. This is going for extremely insane prices. And we've got Black Panther 38. I do know this is the death of Killmonger is in here. He dies in there. And then
like I said, he dies a lot of times, man.
Yeah, and then Black Panther 19, they bring him back. They bring him back in this one. And we got Black Panther 9.
Oh, that's a good one.
And then we've got Major Fantasy 12. Scorpion. I think it's the second appearance of Scorpion in this one. And anytime I see this, I pick this up. Thunderbolts, #4. First appearance of Joke. I usually tend to pick that up. And I think that is everything. Oh,
you forgot one.
And I got two. I've got the Death Metal 3. Ended up getting that for $15. So I didn't, spin an arm and a leg like some folks did when it came out. And I actually got a good deal on this on eBay. I actually ended up getting this 1 in 25 Outlaw for $20. So
you ain't gonna show the one that I handed you?
No, they're not gonna. They'll shut us down on eBay. I can't show it. I mean, shut us YouTube. They shut us down. So I can't.
Come on, now.
No. I would show it off the air.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's one of those. I cannot show that cover. So,
was it Jungle Fantasy or something, man?
Yeah, it's of that ilk. It's as a Grand Theft Auto talk. It's hot coffee. So, but with that, everybody, I think that's everything. I think that's all. We've got haul videos coming, ladies and gentlemen. We've got haul videos coming. I'll probably wind up redoing that for a haul video for you all. X has got a haul video. Larry's working on one. Al has sent one over, and we will have those up throughout the week. We've got Monarch. We got an interview with Monarch's Comics. If that's still in the works, so we got that coming down the pipeline, and we've got a couple of more top 10 lists we'll be working on, and we've got much more. I want to say thanks for everybody for sharing, and subscribing. I want to say thanks for checking us out. Thanks for watching us last night over on Sean's channel with the hip hop discussion, which was highly debated with Rick Ross. If 90 is in the chat, you know I'm teasing him. I'm messing with him. That's gonna be his joke from now on, the Rick Ross joke. Make sure you check out Stay Puff. Are you gonna be anywhere on any panels in the next few days, Sean?
Yeah, I got Silver Sunday tomorrow on Conquistador's channel.
Yeah,
Al may join me if he's available.
Yeah, make sure you check them out. Make sure y'all check out G-Man.
Oh yeah, he'll be on in a few hours.
Yeah, what time did G come on? Because I had to think about the time.
Eastern time is 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock, yeah.
Yeah, it's 12 o'clock for him, 1 o'clock on our side.
Yep. So if you up, man, get you some popcorn, and y'all tune in to watch G, who is always dropping bangers, one behind the other one, man.
Hey, considering the fact that we was up till after 2 o'clock yesterday, just banging out the music.
Yeah.
We could definitely stay up for G, man.
So make sure you check it.
He has a very entertaining show, folks. I've actually been a guest on the show, and he's very hospitable. So yeah, go sub him up and check him out. Make
sure you check out Beauty Comics as well, who subscribed, and Make sure that you continue to like, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend about the comment hall and roundtable discussion. We will be back next week. We hope that everyone has a great evening, and we are out.
Peace, y'all.
Peace.